Bitch, I'm back out my coma.
I'm not happy, Bob.
Not
Stupid cockhole shit.
Yeah, back. You know I'm a sucker for punishment. It's time to stop being a coward and address these allegations, because gay eats love drama is inevitable, and sometimes you just gotta put your clown makeup on. So I bet you heard about the controversy I've been in with Fox and Mafia and Cats War Fox's allegations. And everyone calling me a zoo and pedo insane because I DFD'd is proof. So I'm back to clear this up, get this over with, and maybe if I'm lucky, keep whatever mental sanity I have left before we go postal and Roblox.
That's a joke, boy, y'all.
So, we have to talk about a fat man in a lion mask talking trash about me and using his connections and power to shut me and others up. Because I got something involving one of his mods that he and his posse keeps on lapping off, and doing the famous moist critical CP meme when confronted. I'm also tired of this self-absorbed LARP bucket and his Senate posse acting like they're heroes when they're just as bad as the people they call out, i.e. Mr. Warfox and the Docs Mafia. So here's a recap of what's been happening from my side. At the middle bits in 2022, around May, I met Foxy and Grimskull. They wanted my help in trying to prove that Harley TBS wasn't groomed, so I appeared in their video to mock Harley.
See, as many of you may know, Silverfox1232 was helping me with some drama with Harley TBS, where the entirety of his involvement in this drama can be summed up in one clip.
Hey, you might not know me, but I'm Silverfox1232. You know, that one guy that made a video about the Antunes drama and how all dumb it really was? Along with the other half of it being me going on schizo rambles and making fun of other YouTubers that talk about this bullshit.
I'm a psycho.
The reason why I'm here is to do a little bit about Harley TBS, because I've had my interactions with him too, and they were hilarious. So, in the last bits of my video, I mentioned Harley's video about Antunes, where it's deadass just him spurting about Anton not believing he was groomed, and some art that was made about him he didn't like. Cause yeah, it's totally like a dude who's responsible for what one of his fans draws.
Ow! My nipples!
In retrospect, I should have asked Harley for more info than Ryder being a dick to him, but don't get any ideas to me, Turner. I still think you're e-big and cloud chaser, and I have a lot more reasons to not like you. After all, you did support Keppels in the downward Kiwi Farmers debacle. Nice throne account, by the way.
Get a job, Hurricane.
Anyway, from my side of the story, I saw Foxy and Grimskull had some evidence of Harley TBS not being groomed. They sent me images of an old Sky chat of Harley glowing to his groomer Josh that he didn't send any news in exchange for Steam gift cards, along with something about using said gift cards to pay bills by selling CSGO skins.
You are not. We'll make it even more specific.
Okay, babe.
So, is it not exploitation to tell somebody, hey, I know you're in a bad situation, I'll give you money if you show me pictures of your body?
What's the bad situation?
It
does matter, because you're trying to claim that bad situation was a 12-year-old needed to pay rent with fucking Steam cards. Can you explain how that is even a possibility?
As soon as you answer the question I asked you.
If it's a point that they're trying to exploit someone for the bad situation that they're in, then yeah, it's exploitative. What's the bad situation though? We're talking about someone that's claiming that they need to pay rent with Steam cards. Can you explain why a 12-year-old needs to pay rent, let alone with Steam cards?
Why do they need to pay rent? Dunno. I don't know what Harley's living situation was like.
It's probably bullshit. He was living in Thailand because he told me himself.
Cool. They also told me that as well. But that, sure, whatever. They told, I'm surprised you don't know, because they told you.
They did, yeah, they were living in Thailand. I didn't say I didn't know, I just told you that they're in Thailand.
No. I'm surprised you don't know how they were making money, because they told you.
How they were making money? They supposedly, according into the chats, they were like fucking doing YouTube channels.
They were reselling CSGO skins.
Okay. And what does that have to do with Steam cards?
That was how they were buying the CSGO skins.
They were buying the CSGO skins with the Steam cards. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then they were reselling them, which is something that lots of people do for money.
Okay. And
in fact,
they were doing that with money, but were they homeless though? Were they homeless though?
If you'll let me, I'll finish my thought. Actually, be cool. You'll actually remember there was like a whole scam about it a little while ago. So yeah, that's how.
So are you saying Harley was participating in a CSGO scam?
No, I'm saying that Harley was making money reselling CSGO skins.
Yeah, but then you were just talking about a scam.
You seem to be flabbergasted by the idea that you could do that when I'm reminding you that, like, no, selling CS:GO skins is such a big thing that there was a whole scam about it.
I'm flabbergasted that supposedly a 12-year-old needs to pay rent with said Steam cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted about that. That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to say that this person was in an exploitive situation right there. There was no exploitive situation, especially when you read the end of those chat logs.
Cool. I believe Harley, you don't.
Huh?
How does that even work? How do you pay bills with CS:GO skins, like with the inconsistent prices, scamming risk, and low payouts, along with Harley living with his parents at the time? Yeah, that just sounds like cap, dude. They're paying the bills, not you. I also know for a fact Grimskull didn't make Harley talk to his groomer or let Josh groom anyone in his circles. You both just keep on saying that with no proof, and Harley's got the crown in that chat room. Update and correction. Apparently Grimskull told me that Josh had the crown first and then gave it to Harley. Thanks for the correction, Grim.
Because at the start of the Josh logs, deleted user is Josh.
Yeah, deleted user is Josh. And it says Foxton
So
logs.
deleted-
That's so funny.
Deleted user is Josh. Deleted user makes the group chat, not Harley.
Well, Harley's the one that had the crown, and he joined the chat, correct?
Let me finish. So the group chat was not created by Harley. It was created by Josh. Josh later leaves the group chat, which is when Harley gets power, which is when Harley kicks everyone out.
That's not what happened at all. You can look at my video. He had the crown even while Josh was in there. He didn't leave the group chat. He was in there the whole entire time.
Okay, real quick, I have a...
I can post the video. Hold on. I gave you the video yesterday, Lyle. I mean, it's just...
Hold on. I actually have something of note to say here. I went ahead and looked at a group chat I have with somebody else. It's a fairly small one, so it was easier to track. The inconsistency I'm having here now that I've gotten to go back and look at things here. The first image shown, it says deleted user adds Bone Bro to the chat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In this group chat I'm in, it's not related to any of this, just for context. It was Mally. She started a group chat, and the first message says Mally added Lio Man Bad to the group. Mally has the crown. That's the first message. Wouldn't that imply that Mally started that? And if that's the case, wouldn't it have been deleted user that would have started the group? If you need me to, I can take a screenshot and put it in the chat or whatever if I need to.
No, that's right.
Could be. Regardless of that, there's nothing that says that I'm forcing Harley to go into this chat with him. I was invited pretty much last. I joined last, I think, and I'm pretty sure we didn't force him to do that. Unless you have DMs or anything that says I forced Harley to sit with his groomer, a groomer that he was having conversations with way before I even got involved. Then go for it. I don't. Because I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist.
Let me finish what I was referring to, and I'm totally willing to admit that this is a fuck up on my part, and my wording might not have made that clear. So I'm totally willing to admit that this might have been my fault, and I might have done a dumb.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk about you trying to force them into a conversation with their groomer, I mean the literal pages upon pages of screenshots I have of you going, get in the call, get in the call, get in the call, where Harley says, I don't want to, I'm not comfortable, I'm not going to, and you tell them to their face that you don't care how they feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I meant every word of that. I didn't care how they felt about it. We went straight from a Twitter beef online to going into that group chat that was just invited to all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, not the group call itself.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem to be what you were implying at all. And also, you were still implying that Foxton was involved. You labeled the whole entire chat Foxton logs. Foxton had nothing to do with that. I mean, yeah, Harley did it. Harley did it.
Right there.
That was from my video. They took the screenshots. Where is the entirety of the chat, like the way you have it?
It's in my screenshots because I
got the entire thing
in there because I was added to that group chat. So that's how I got those. I got my screenshots.
She got those screenshots from my video. From the video I took of it.
This whole Senate call boiled down to Heaton thinking that Grimskull made Harley talk to his groomer by force because he was saying in a call that he was added to later on in get in the call. He was added to the call later on, and Josh, Harley, and this bone dude, who is not Grimskull by the way, is a completely different guy. Those three were in there first. Grim was added later on. The call chat was made first over a Twitter beef.
Oh, hey, you suck.
Cock.
Also, apparently, Grimskull has evidence that Harley TBS was talking to Josh, his groomer, not to talk to Foxen or Grimskull. Harley, I got a few questions. One, why would you still have contact with the guy that you said groomed you? That would literally help you in the argument if you didn't. Also, two, why would you be telling the person that groomed you not to talk to the people that wanted to prove that you weren't groomed? You know, this could have helped you in your argument against them because you could have just went, "Oi, Foxy and Grimskull are listening to the groomer, but not me." Also, Heaton, I did watch more of that video about Foxen, the second one where you talk about Grimskull. Specifically the parts of where you mentioned Grim having that chat with Harley. And the big old chat about Harley and Josh being both minors at the time. I also skimmed for your video to find that hard proof of Grimskull letting Josh into his circle to groom other minors. So, where is it? Is it here? Is it in this part where Grimskull realized that Josh was grooming minors? And also stated in his screenshot that he was reporting Josh to the authorities? Which Grimskull did do, by the way. Where is it, Heaton? Where's the hard proof that Grimskull did that? Because I'll give you some credence over here. You do call him out for mixing up an American law with British law. I'll give you that why, but I don't think him reporting Josh for grooming two other people is really hard proof that he let Josh into his circles to groom minors.
Boston, Stockholm, a 20-something do-nothing, and Al Grimskull, a 30-year-old edgelord, are a pair who got into a Twitter beef with a YouTuber, Harley TBS, and somehow failed to criticize a commentary channel of all things. So to get some upper hand, they both chose to side with Harley's groomer, a man called Josh. Grimskull confirmed that he did see the logs between Harley and Josh, but somehow Josh asking for news from a 12-year-old in exchange for Steam codes wasn't enough proof. Allegedly. Well, no, they then excused the child predation because Josh has autism. So, despite Harley TBS, Foxen and Grimskull befriended a person they themselves knew was a child predator and led him around their circles, for him to, unsurprisingly, groom another child.
Back it up before you start spewing shit, alright? And I would look for your Google Drive full of evidence, but
It's fun.
yeah, nice broken Google Drive link. And I bet you're frothing at the mouth here. I bet you are screaming, waiting to release verbal hell on me. To which I say, what's this?
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, bro.
Hello there, my lovely Legionnaires.
You stupid Nick!
Is that you defending infamous child predator Fed Ghost? Oh man, the guy that your buddy Leo Convoy called out in an hour-long video call?
Oh man.
This karma is clogging my arteries. Call me Nikocado Avocado because I'm eating this shit up. Now, Heaton, if you think I'm doing this to get back at you for calling Grim, Foxen out on the whole entire not believing Harley was groomed shit, I'm calling you out for excluding details to make niggas look worse than they really are. Honestly, I don't care anymore if Harley was groomed or not. I want to move on from that. I'll take my out believing Foxen word for word, and I hope she's getting mental help and staying out of this drama crap.
You've got to be kidding.
The reason I'm gloating here is to call you out for excluding shit that make things look worse than they really are. Both you and Leo have never brought in any hard proof that Josh was let into Grim's circles to groom more minors, despite that even you show in your video that Grimskull realized that Josh did groom more kids and reported him to the missing child hotline. something that Mr. Convoy stated was just a hotline despite a very big hypocritical take that I'll be talking about later. So, Heaton, with all the stuff that's coming out about you, and being exposed for defending a pedophile that your big buddy Leo called out in the past, I got a question for you. Since you like Fedgo's cock in your mouth so much, can I get some of that action, miss?
Dunk, Fidel! Is that sexual harassment?
Stupid cock holster.
Take it easy, it's just a drawing.
Watchers make a response video to me saying that me wanting Foxen to get help is enabling her. These guys don't know what that word means. So, let's get back to the story with Cass Warfox. I met Cass Warfox along with his group in Moomin in February of 2023 after the whole situation that happened with Coyote Lovely, aka Zarkala/Zaphos X. Why would I join the guys that made Coyote Lovely look like a fool in 4K? I don't know, maybe it's because I don't like Lovely or Leo for many other reasons other than Antoon's tracing bad.
Shit. Also, Lovely, I know about your secret. Why were you friends with Zoo and Pedofurry and not even talk about it? Or publicly disown them?
Like Coyote being a grifter into Core Kitty stuff and saying that his video got him arrested, when in reality, it was the Kiwi Farms that got that zoo file busted from what I've heard. So, you took credit for people's work just like Turkey Tom. Wow! Along with actively hanging out with Zerkalo and Blamir. Blamir, a baby fur freak who showed cub porn to minors, and Zerkalo, a zoophile who had boatloads of evidence on the Kiwi Farms about her already before a video was even made about her. She was hanging around with infinite zoophiles like Douglas Spink, aka the maker of Mr. Hands, along with killing her pet doves for taxidermy. Leo says there's no proof of her killing her pet doves, but it's right there. There are archived images of this stuff on the farms already, on her front page.
Granted, Blumier was already out of his life. When it comes to Zerkalo, the thread is part of the problem. And the reason why I say it's part of the problem, because when I looked into it, there were plenty of things there that had no real basis for the claims made. There wasn't any real evidence for some of these things. It wasn't until people started coming out about what Zerkalo did to them that started coming to more light and having more evidence behind it, because people could do a little bit more digging. Like in part of the thread, they were claiming Zerkalo killed their birds and did this, but there was no evidence to show that Zerkalo killed their birds.
Hey, what you say, nigga?
It's right here, huh?
Show it.
It's right here.
Show it.
It's right here.
Show it.
It's right there.
That's disgusting.
Come on, Lagobert knows this stuff and you and the Senate did it.
Okay, so I'm editing this now, and somehow I managed to skip over probably the most damning thing in this entire section. I don't know how. So, Zerkalo has been the owner of multiple pet birds. However, similarly to the fox mentioned before, he would not only use these animals for taxidermy purposes, but he would essentially abuse them in his ownership. This would range from amputating some of them, leaving others outside in terrible weather conditions, and even killing one of them himself to create a bird taxidermy tutorial out of it. Say what you will, but I don't think being an eccentric artist excuses animal cruelty.
It's on the front page of her thread. Again, like I said in my song mocking Coyote Lovely, it's right there the whole time. How did you not see it? It's like Coyote and Leo would actively defend Zerkalo whenever they got into heat until it blew up in both their faces as she wasn't valuable to them anymore. And the Senate, Leo's little hotbox, also had a call confronting Lovely about Zerkalo asking minor sexual questions in May of 2022, where in said call, Coyote was shielding Zerkalo. Yet, none of you have ever talked about what Zerkalo did for 8 months, only when it could benefit you. Same thing goes when you use Coyote Lovely sipping up Zerkalo when he got called out by Cass Warfox.
Hopeless Peaches brings up a call that had taken place just months prior between Coyote Lovely, Lio Convoy, and Zerkalo. And Hopeless Peaches says this about the call.
It's hilarious. God, I love this call so much.
Months later, whenever all of a sudden everybody's going after Coyote Lovely, she had this to say about the exact same call.
Even though I wasn't around when the call took place, listening to the playback was so unbelievably frustrating.
I also find it hilarious that in one of your videos, when you called out Cass Warfox, you showed that you did give him the call, but you also told him in the chat not to show anybody.
Man Baby Tears joining in on spreading the word that some small British commentary girl wounded the Dawn. Pooh, in retaliation to Cass being slandered, made a video stating Peaches is a predator defender and made her video to defend Coyote Lovely. The funnier claim, however, if somehow the claim of an exposed video was made to defend somebody isn't laughable enough, is that I hid the call that was had with Zacarlo back in May of 2022. It's funny because I gave Cass the call in November. I guess the great Cass Warfox forgot about having that call though, because he will run around Neverth and Lagovert's server saying otherwise. I gave Cass the call in November.
Hey, it's not Cass's fault when he actually listened to you, Leo.
Lol.
Anyways, me, Foxton, and Grimskull were hanging around Fox Mafia and Moomin's server. I think Foxton wanted Moomin's help in the Harley not getting groomed stuff because he made videos going against Harley too. One of the claims made about the three of us is that we were hanging around Moomin's server and Moomin had NSFW chat rooms that Moomin himself made, and Leo thinks we were perfectly fine with them just because we were in his server.
And it looks like there wasn't any pushback on this literal child owning any of this, as they were still fine being there in his server, only leaving the server when they were called out publicly for it. For further evidence with this is this clip, where Grimskull says in a response to me asking why Grimskull isn't trying to guide Moomin away from vulgarity.
Not Moomin, I can't really speak for him, and I don't really tell Moomin what to do or what he puts his thumbnails in and whatnot. Like, I talk to Moomin, I don't tell Moomin what to do.
So, my value when it comes to people like Moomin, like children, you're going to want to try to guide them. Not tell them what to do, but just be like, hey, maybe do X, Y, Z. Be a proper role model, for lack of a better word, if that's your intention, right?
He has a dad. He has a dad. He can.
Oh, no question. You can't take that place. That's not even.
Yeah, he has a dad. He can get that kind of stuff from his dad. I'm just, like I said, I'm just a guy on the internet. I'm not here to tell like a teenager what to do with his thumbnails or what to do with his videos.
Yeah,
I only have 200 something subs.
Yeah, but you're also in your 30s, and conducting yourself properly around these people is a wise idea. So yes, Foxton and Grimskull have a precedent of not steering this child away from behavior that could put them in danger.
Huh? I love that in Leo's claim here, he says we didn't have a problem with Moomin's chat rooms, despite that we did push back. Multiple times, in fact. I even shown hard proof about this in a video I made before I DFD'd. I gave proof that all three of us were not okay with it. I have photo evidence of us not agreeing with this stuff and calling him out about it. In May of last year, in a DM chat with the four of us that was made only for the Harley stuff, I said verbatim, "Didn't you guys also told Moomin off about that channel?" And Grimskull confirms. Cause in Moomin's server, me and Grim actively told him off about these chat rooms when we noticed them, and Moomin said he didn't care about it. Even Zai, aka Kai Weiss, brings this up in his video debunking Leo's lies.
Lyle also brings up Grimskull and Foxton in their criticism, and I can only imagine that it has to do with the whole Takashi or Moomin situation, which Lyle grossly misrepresented. I don't care for Foxton or Grimskull really, but Lyle did spread the narrative that both of them had zero issue with Moomin making an NSFW channel in his Discord server and not saying anything about it, despite Grimskull and Foxton both telling him that he shouldn't have the channel if they're going to be in the server, thus condemning its existence.
Sin and Lyle Convoy have also regurgitated the same thing, but I mean, it's nice to know that they can't add anything new to the table, let alone don't even have any evidence or any hardcore proof for their shitty-ass TLDR on their live streams.
There's Grimskull and Foxton. Foxton and Grimskull were obsessed with Harley because they wanted to prove that Harley didn't get groomed. Were too stupid to realize the groomer had deleted comments in their chain of communication. That person actually went on to groom somebody else that Grimskull apparently knew, and Grimskull didn't report him to the proper authorities. Just used like some tip line, the Center for Exploited Missing Children, despite having this person's actual information allegedly. They give Harley a lot of grief for something called the Mude bot, which, probably shouldn't have had, but that was also when Harley was a minor.
Yeah.
Where, you could choose anime waifus and some were from hentai or whatever.
Yeah.
And they got really tilted over that. And they're still tilted about it. They're still mad about it. That's what they were getting on the jar about. Which, you were in the server, you didn't say anything. They're sitting in the server of a 15-year-old. Who goes by the name of Moomin, who has 3 individual porn chats, and Foxton, Grimskull, and their buddy Silverfox take no issue with it.
I can't really speak for them on the first 2 parts, but I can definitely speak for them on the last one. Yes, they did get on to me about it, even though I obviously made it clear that I just didn't care. I just got bugged about it to a point where it was just annoying and I didn't want to deal with it anymore. They weren't really okay with it at all. If anything, they just really didn't care, but they did advise me about it multiple times. I can definitely say that.
The both of them made it Moomin's choice to get rid of it, because they can't force the child to do anything. Moomin even responded to these allegations himself in Grimskull's video on the situation. You essentially blame the both of them for things that are done outside of their control. I will leave Grimskull's video in the description. I obviously don't condone everything that's said in it, but I do believe his testimony and the fact Lio misrepresented what him and Foxton did. That's me believing the truth, by the way, Lio, not aligning myself with.
Man, it's like the person who took these images is actively leaving out context to benefit him in the argument. Hi, Harley. In Leo's video, he only shows us talking in general chat and being edgy cause we never interacted with those chat rooms. We were against them. Why would I say, didn't you guys also told Moomin off about that channel if I was ever in favor of it? How's it even enabling either when we also call them out in his own server? Again, notice how he's speaking in past context here, meaning that we did call him out in his own server and he did nothing about it. Again, we wanted Moomin to get rid of those chat rooms. I have the receipts, but let me guess, they don't count cause I was in there. And the DMs that Moomin shows in his defense video were from after we left his server. These were also in a DM group only made to talk about the Harley crap, nothing else. And Leo Convoy is saying otherwise with that, cause he's gotta make anyone that doesn't like him look like a predator or a dog fucker, cause how dare anybody be skeptical about him or his methods?
I hunt pedophiles.
And if you're wondering where those original comments where me and Grim called out Moomin in his own server are, I sadly can't get them, and I tried to find them. I did go back to Moomin's server to find those comments where we called them out, but Moomin deleted everything. And this was all after some false flagging drama with that Vincent Skullman dude and Moomin being framed for a gore raid when he never did it at all. And this was all after some false flagging drama with that Vincent Skullman dude and Moomin being framed for a gore raid when Moomin didn't do that at all. It was someone else to my knowledge. From what I remember, Moomin did a full server reset because that place was loaded with spies. He even admits doing this in his updated video about all this crap.
These clowns are okay with hiding behind a video. This child made a shield against their actions. Definitely not innocent behavior.
There is a long response incoming, so I hope you got some popcorn or some shit. In an earlier video, and I even addressed it in that same video, they told me off about it. Harley's grooming was false, and I proved that. We all proved it. It's just that you consistently deny it, and you won't be able to prove that the grooming is false, so you direct attention to the groomer and associate Grimskull and Foxton with said groomer. And about the anime waifus, I should have specified this point more and like made it more clear, which I didn't, but Harley has been making videos on groomers and predators for years, so why does he have these anime waifus from hentai around a bunch of little ass kids? That's fucking nasty, dude. You can even hear Lyle shrugging it off by saying, or whatever, and they still got tilted about that. Saying it with a little bit of zest. That did sound a bit gay. I'm not gonna lie. Lyle, you're a little bit, I whip my hair back and forth. Also, they didn't leave the server because they were, like, publicly called out for some stupid ass shit. That's not what happened. They left because they were being accused of being predators for being in a server. There's no proof, there's no evidence, they're just being in a server. That's what they left for. It wasn't because it was some big brain or you had to like really think about this. Ooh, no, they were just being falsely accused of being predators or like preying on kids when they were just in a Discord server. And even in the next clip, if you actually like pay attention to what Lyle's saying, he calls Grimskull and Foxton a pair of creeps that cast where Fox defends, he's implying that they're being creepy around a bunch of little ass kids, or like some stupid ass interpretation that they're preying on me or manipulating me. No. Even when Lyle brings up our ages, you can clearly tell what he's doing. When he brings up words like saying that hanging around me is odd, you should probably try to guide me away from vulgarity. He knows what he's doing. I'll say this again, even for the next clip, yes, they did get onto me about it, and I was told off all by the three of them. I deleted the not safe for work channels and like revised the entire server. Yeah, the server's deleted. Also, this gets on my nerves every time I hear back the recording. What is Sen laughing for? This nigga's a lolicon. Why is he laughing? Does Buddy not know he's not a part of the team? Back to Lyle. Nigga's irrelevant. Even at the end of the second clip, Lyle claims that Foxton and Grim are hiding behind my video. So because I made a video to like defend Grim and Foxton and say that the allegations are not true, you know, defend them from your slander, defend them from whatever like you are talking about, like in regards to them trying to be predators allegedly, which is not even true. I shouldn't even say allegedly. It's just not even a true concept. It would be worse if they told you about this and showed this off to you before I even like got a chance to even say it in the first video I made, but they're not hiding behind my video. They just constantly urged me to like just say something about the situation. And that's what I did. And the reason they joined my server in the first place, I didn't even mention this while they were in there. They joined because of Cobalt. So during that time, not only was I dealing with a bunch of f***ings who got mad over a thumbnail, but I had to scramble around, fooling around with a fucking autistic. I don't even understand why they joined, if they were just gonna be a fucking crash out. All because we told them no to sending nudes in the server. There's already enough videos like piling on Lio and Hopeless Peaches, providing like tons and tons of evidence. Mainly a lot of them just recycling the same points. They just don't shut up, like a broken record being played over and over again. I'm not here to repeat anything. I'm just here to defend Grimm, say my piece, and just leave. I don't like doing this type of content at all anymore, so I've kind of just abandoned the other channel. But if y'all want me to give a piece of mind on a certain topic or make a video about it or explain...
So this convo in a DM group is the proof I got of us not approving of these chat rooms. Again, my words are in a past context. Didn't you guys also told Moomin off about that channel? Look up the definition of the word told. Yet Jim Sterling's furry clone over here wants to believe otherwise, because that would disprove his argument of us being okay with it, when none of us were at all. All three of us, me, Foxy, and Grimskull, didn't want Moomin doing any of that. I mean, what else could have we done other than told him multiple times not to do that? Wow, it's like the commentary community, especially art commentary, are known for lying, making people look worse than they really are with fake allegations and guilt by association, or just twisting the truth to make it look worse than it really is. Like it's never happened before. What? Daft Peanut calling Antunes a pedo for asking a question about Puppy Chan's gender? Dishonored Wolf getting lied about by age-lying Twitter thought? To the point where he decided to get off the internet for his own mental sanity? The whole first situation with Pyrocynical, along with Call Me Carson's situation over a legal age gap, and people calling him a predator because he wasn't funny? Or, in your case, Leo, your old butt buddy FNGR saying Stallion Slaughter was a pedo because of a pillow.
Lying about the content and context of that image, or you're grifting and you don't give a fuck about kids. You use them as a shield. You use them as a shield.
I hunt pedophiles.
Bronies, am I right?
Commentary channel's lying? No, never happens at all. Just take everything at face value, goy. Never ask questions, just consume the info and give us shekels.
Oy vey!
Bruh, I totally bet they're gonna use this edgy joke against me in an argument. Anyway, back to Cass and company. The first drama that happened with Cass was with his buddy Gilded Pooh, with Gilded bragging about raiding Queen Seraphina's server with bestiality for shock value. Yeah, very screwed up, I know. But what from Gilded claims, Seraphina and a Senate mod named Baji did it first by spamming him with a certain image. Oh, I'll be talking about that later. It involves a horse, a dolphin, and Leo being okay with people redrawing it because of his words, "It's not real, it's just a joke." If you want my opinion on the Gilded raid stuff, it boils down to 2 wrongs don't make a right. Like, really, Gilded, people aren't going to be on your side if you or your posse posts 2 dogs, 1 white girl, as a response to a dolphin diving into a horse's nether portal. Excuse my cringe Minecraft reference, but it doesn't matter if you did it or not, if it's illegal in your state to even hold that stuff on your computer, or even if you admit you have no schmexual interest in your stuff and you only post it for shock value. You're just doing the same thing they did to you. You gave them ammo to call you a freak.
Makes me look even stupider, and not because of the bestiality stuff, which I guess you could argue makes me look stupid.
It's like a teenager posting gore on a server and then whining when he gets banned for it. It's your fault, dude. By the way, I was never friends with Gilded either, and I have proof of that too. When I first heard any of this, it was all just hearsay. Gilded saying this in a chat in Fox Mafia. Even in that doc I made about why I left, you can see a previous friend and me talking about this trash at the time. And Cass said to them he would look into it. Then in April, Guild was banned from what I know. This was also at the time the first video about Cass and crew was made. I took it as Cash finally doing something about it, because why would I have more faith in the guy that made Coyote Lovely look like a fool? And from what I remember, a lot was going down after that first video. That Cedric dude being framed at the zoo, that first gay chick also being called a zood. I thought something was up with all this chaos, and originally I wanted to make a video trying to debunk these claims. Wouldn't be my first time doing it, like with my Antunes video. At the time, I was focusing on other video projects, so it took me some time to even start looking into all these accusations about other members, along with being more focused on Fox and Grimm's Fustercluck with Harley. Cause I don't like when big channels beat down on smaller ones with fake crap. Of course I'd be more focused on that. It's kinda clear I don't like Harley TBS or trust him with a rope.
Literal porn of me.
So after that Fallout 76 video I made, I got to work watching the first video about Cass and crew. The script for it has been deleted due to this whole drama meltdown, and again, with the info me and Grimm got, I'm not defending Cass. He can do that himself, or he can sit down in his little submarine and take 12 Benadryl. Well, we already know he relied on me on being his meat shield. I didn't even know this dude had a server that was made to dox people. Talk about a fucking hypocrite. Originally, I was going to be talking about the Mint Heart stuff with an infamous video of Leo suggesting an at-the-time minor record herself getting touched by her abusive stepfather for evidence, along with the double standards about the Gilded Poo crap with Baji, because that guy was still in the Senate at the time of all this because of Lolicon tier excuses. At least Gilded was banned in April for what he did. Update about that Baji guy. Apparently he and a bunch of Senate mods left from the server after a whole rebrand, and the Senate said they stopped predator hunting. I think I know why Leo and crew are doing this after the whole Mama Max stuff, and the failure that was the Miles situation with Peaches. I also have proof that you guys kept Baji around in mid-2023, so Leo knows what's going to happen when his info about drawing horses and dolphins gets spread out. Horse! Anyways, let's talk about a bear. What Cedric told me in his testimony is that he couldn't see the feral art that people he was watching on Furfini made because he had a safe for work filter on, and told me that he never favorited any feral NSFW. He even sent me an archive of his account from 2022 to prove it, and nothing was there other than an anthropomorphic bear in a Star Trek outfit. It's a bear in a human body, and he has clothes on. That's not a feral one. This not seeing the NSFW thing is a thing I can confirm. It's a feature in the account settings that blocks you from seeing mature and adult art pieces if it's switched on. Reminder that Furfini is a broken-ass website, and the only reason it's still up is because it's the most popular fur fact site, and people majorly use it to watch weird inflation! I should know. I was addicted to some pretty weird stuff in the past, too.
I mean, I'm a real freak. I'm not normal.
I'll talk about that embarrassing stuff later. After the second video about cast and crew was made by Leo, I got even more info about Cedric and Leo's claim about how he panics and bails. After I showed my first video about this gay drama in Menace's server, a dude from Lagoverd server contacted me about Cedric and gave me some screenies from the aftermath of a call where Cedric was banned for being confronted about his follows. You can see it right here in the middle bits of the thread. I took this as him being untrustworthy with what he's been saying about his story. You could probably make the defense for his claim by saying, because of him not having any weird stuff in his favorites, he really isn't guilty. Leo Convoy is just reaching here. Well, you could also say he probably didn't have his filter on, so he could see the content that these people made. That's why he acted so skittish at a call. Sadly, there's no hard proof here other than guilt by association and Cedric panicking when confronted. So with Leo's logic, him doing a stream with Mr. Sen, a exposed lolicon, means Leo's a lolicon too, right?
Now you fucking dolt.
Leo didn't know that Sen was a lolicon, so it's guilt by association logic. That's the point I'm making here. You see how it doesn't work. So, Seti, if you're watching this, why do you make this testimony to me, but when others confront you about your FA follows, you run away? It just makes you look more suspicious, dude. Like, come on, is it some sort of mental thing? I don't know. I'm not a shrink, I'm just an asshole. And now, I gotta talk about Fursky Doodle, which she is just more damning and disgusting. This is Fursky. Fursky is a very puzzling person to me, and she also looks like a frog. In my time in Fox Mafia, her story is that she was groomed into liking all this garbage on her F list, and the age that was thrown around at the time is that she was 16 when this was all made. She also said that her groomer made this account along with this nutjob saying stuff about another groomer on Second Life, and saying boatloads of crap that didn't even line up with the story that was being told. Like showing an old Facebook post from a decade ago that wasn't even relevant to the accusations. To me, her story was all over the place, where even Grimskull told me in DMs, "Are you buying all that?" Yeah, in my original video, I hate him because I didn't want Fox Mafia going after him. After all, a certain shithead did expose him for doxing people. You know what's the funny thing? When Peaches was talking about this Fursky stuff on Twitter, and I quote retweeted her on Twitter asking for proof about these claims, with an MSGR meme, I know, very cringe. Do you know who gave me hard proof about Fursky Doodle being an absolute degenerate? Lumi, out of all people. Not your precious Peachy Weechy, the Warrior Cats fanatic that drew the thumbnail art for your videos.
Fuck you.
But what about Cass Warfox using a 17-year-old named Spellblade in sting ops against predators, along with hitting on said 17-year-old when they turned 18 and he was 27? You must have known about that, right, Silver? Now here's the thing. I didn't know. He never told me. Me, Foxton, and Grimskull had no knowledge about this Spellblade chick any time during our stay in Fox Mafia. Cass did give me a reason why he never contacted that Alex guy about those Zaffo logs, but again, he never told us anything about this Spellblade chick at all. Wow, I wonder why. It's like it would get rid of your meat shield.
He has to have Foxton and Grimskull's living, breathing shadow, Silverfox1232, do it for him. Cass has to rely on Silverfox here because he already knows what level of filth this person has already turned a blind eye to.
Ironic. Hey Cass, if you're watching this video on your little deadass account, because I know you are, I saw you in Kai Weiss's comment section, everyone else did. Screw you, you absolute fake ass. I regret putting any of my trust in you. Alright, now we got that out of the way, let's move on to the reason of why I left. I left Cass's group in the middle of September on the 14th, but I lost all faith in them doing anything about this, with Cass holding info for me or dudes just not being trustful with their stories to me. Along with what happened to Grimskull with a random guy coming over to his house to try to take a picture of his face. I'm not even kidding about that. And nobody knows who really did it, there's only theories about who did it. This whole situation led me losing faith and unironically being scared of what could have happened to me, and I just committed a rogue internet man that DFD'd over claims I could have dismissed and proved wrong. It was extremely stupid of me to leave and extremely cowardly as well. Cause I don't even need to stress it enough that I do not defend zoophiles. I actively been against the idea of Leviticus 20:15.
Sex with animals. There's no time, man.
But you were defending. You were gonna defend them. You were gonna make a video. So therefore, you must be a zoo defender.
Nigga, what the fuck is this bullshit?
If asking for proof and wanting other people's side of the story until I get contradictory evidence that what these people are saying to me is in fact wrong is defending of zoophilia, then investigators getting evidence at a crime scene and asking people that were in said crime scene questions about it is just helping people get away with murder and other crimes.
You stupid.
Want me to make videos clowning on Cure the Wolf of Zaphone, let alone quote Archive the Wolf's Bitter Pills video in mine, showing that zoos run fur-fat conventions. I think it's kinda clear that I don't like zoophiles, let alone knew what Cass did in full. But Leo's gonna insinuate it because it makes me look bad. So, Mr. Convoy, Charlie Adler, screenshots or it didn't happen.
Where's his counter-argument?
And if those screenshots are me asking for proof or having arguments because of the Cedric shit, or just being in Fox Mafia because of your guilt by association trademark,
Get fucked.
again, that's not defending, that's asking for proof, because how dare I be skeptical about the dude that was butt buddies with the guy that rizzed up Zappho and Zercalo, and joined the group that made Coyote look like a fool in 4K. It's like I would have more trust in these people than the fat man in a moldy lion mask who held onto a call exposing Zercalo for 8 months. Just going to ignore that you and your precious Peachy had that call in May of 2022, and Peaches used said call when calling out Zercalo, and later also when calling out Lovely.
It's hilarious. God, I love this call so much.
Months later, whenever all of a sudden everybody's going after Coyote Lovely, she had this to say about the exact same call.
Even though I wasn't around when the call took place, listening to the playback was so unbelievably frustrating.
It's also like not everybody in Fox Mafia was or has ever been a zoophile or zoophile defender, and you're just using guilt by association to paint everybody that was there as a dog fucker to make them look bad.
And North, MK Volt, as you would know in that server, is a former Fox Mafia member, which was a group of weirdo pseudo-wannabe predator hunters that got outed for being disgusting people up to and including zoophilia and defending it therein.
Like Nerf, who left before I did, Moment of Sanity, who got the same treatment and had to make a whole video about it too, and there's one rando in the comment section I found in one of Tommy House's interviews. I mean, the same logic can be used with your server, Leo, so since you like playing that game, let's play it then. Since the person that was in your server that went by the name of Dibrose that recorded Senate calls for you was ousted for being a pedophile, that must mean everyone in the Senate must be a pedophile, right?
Wrong.
No, that's incredibly stupid logic, and that's the point I'm making here. People would go to the Senate because you called out Smash Bandicoot, or Fed Ghost, or whatever disgusting degenerate retard thought it was a good idea to groom children, and you put that intimidating voice on to scare the living daylights out of them with.
I will steal your essence.
You see how stupid that logic is when I explain it? People trusted Cass Warfox because he made Coyote Lovely look like an idiot, and vice versa with whatever sped you screamed at for views that day. Like the Klonoa fag that dared call you transphobic in your comments section. Anyways, back to the point. Leo just puts my dumbass Chester Cheeto odd-looking avatar on a piece of paper with Comic Sans text calling me a zoo defender like the fucking Mama Max did. He really just said when making this, Silverfox defends zoos. My proof was my 1985 Thundercats bong. I won't elaborate. I think I've made my point. This is real Sigma male energy right here.
But you ran away, Silver. That's enough proof. Only a guilty man hides.
Bullshit.
The reason I DM'd Eve is because Leo Convoy has a habit that dox anybody who gets in his way. Not just predators, but literally anybody who gets in his way, even children, and will lie about it constantly just to save face. Or just flat out make dox threats like his recent video addressing things with Kumo. Oh, don't worry, I'll talk about it later too. But right now, let's talk about Dreadful Jax, the most prevalent proof that Leo Convoy will dox literally anybody, no matter what age, no matter what they've done, innocent or not, just because they get under his skin. Dreadful Jax was a 15-year-old minor who was having a screaming fit with his fat-ass gun, and I kid you not, Leo Thomas Guerrera Convoy, an at the time 36-year-old man, threatened to dox his child, threatened to go to his house, and when the kid responds, "I have guns, I'll shoot you," he called his school saying he was planning a school shooting.
Well, you think I'm scared of you?
Oh, you
No,
don't
but
know.
you probably
don't
should
know
be.
yet.
I should be. Give me a few reasons.
Well, number one, I can figure out I can figure out very quickly where a kid lives by their photo, and I'm pretty sure you probably got one running around.
Oh, yeah, you come to my house. I live in a gang neighborhood and I have guns, so...
No, I'm not
You pull
worried.
up, I'll just shoot you.
Hey, retard.
Oh,
Hey,
come here,
faggot.
retard won't... You literally threatened me. Look, you
I'm
come here,
involved because I choose to. You can sit there and
I'll
you can
fucking... You come to my house, I'll put a bullet in your skull. Just saying.
You're not gonna put anything in anywhere. Your airsoft guns don't scare me, son. Sit down and be quiet.
I actually have guns, fucktard.
I'm not worried about some dumb 15-year-old making threats about firearms. If I want to ruin your life, I'll just call your school and tell them you made the threat, and you won't get anywhere in life. You want to play this game? We can play that game. We're gonna find this kid's school.
Oh.
Dead serious. We're gonna find this kid's school. Yeah.
Alright. Listen to me, man. Listen to me really quick, alright?
No, I don't think I'm going to. Because at this point, you gotten yourself into this nonsense. You dig the people online, and when somebody finally brings it to your doorstep, you want to play games. Now, there's a difference between being 36 and being 15, but better understanding of how the real world works. And yeah, I'm going to ruin your life for you making stupid threats.
So yeah, Leo did dox Jax. I mean, how the hell do you find a kid's school without doxing? Let alone why, at the time, 36-year-old man-child did it.
Hey, retard.
You clearly state at the end of that call that you were calling a school to ruin his life for dumb internet threats. And you open up that conversation with him, saying...
You want me to come to your house?
And Jax did explain to the school staff that this was all gay internet drama, they laughed it off. But when Leo is confronted, he makes the most dumbest excuses for his actions that boil down to, "I report him because, well, what if he shoots up a school? I didn't say he didn't, but what if he did?"
Dreadful Jax. You want to know what happened with him? He was pulled into call, independently, not given any roles, to try to get him to stop beefing with some other dumb kid. I hop in the call, and Jax loses his mind, threatens to shoot me, threatens to do all this. Couldn't call his parents because they're deaf, which is why he gets away with this nonsense. So instead, I just called his school. Because as you know, Pizza, we live in the United States of America, where school shootings are pretty common. And the last thing I want is to have this idiot pop off his mouth about how he's been in gangs and how he's hurt people and how he has guns and do nothing, only to find out, oh, the kid went psycho and killed people.
You made the threats first, Leo, not Jax. The sad thing is that Leo has admitted to doing this multiple times. This wasn't a one-time thing. He doesn't even deny calling Jax's school in one of the clips I'm going to show you.
Negatively to a literal child that has not crossed moral barriers, because I've had to deal with some that have, like one person named Jax who decided I'm gonna threaten to shoot Lio and put him in the ground. Yeah, I called his school. Yeah, I called his school.
No, I didn't tell his school that he was a school shooter. Here's the DMs that I had with Sarah during my contacting of the school, where I'm frustrated that I had to keep telling them that it's not what I was claiming.
And what about the, I saw your recent video when you talked about the Jax stuff, and Jax hounding you and being an annoying 15-year-old, 16-year-old. But my issue with that, hold on, actually, I need to send this invite to Crystal, but I'd like to talk about that. You say in the call that, you're going to ruin his life, and then later on you do call the school. You say that you didn't say that he was going to shoot up the school.
Correct.
But when Jax was interviewed, he said that the school thought he was going to shoot up the school. So where would the school get that in communication? If
I have absolutely no idea, because I had to correct them multiple times. As you saw in that screenshot, would you like a more direct image of that screenshot?
Yeah. Wait, are you saying you corrected
The school.
You corrected the school and like.
Yeah, because I called the school, I gave them the basic information, and I made it very clear when I talked to them. And again, I shouldn't even be talking about this publicly because I said in the video I wouldn't go forward with that because he tends to be unhinged when you do so. I told them he has not made a single threat to the school.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Because as you know, Pizza, we live in the United States of America, where school shootings are pretty common. And the last thing I want is to have this idiot pop off his mouth about how he's been in gangs and how he's hurt people and how he has guns and do nothing only to find out, the kid went psycho and killed people.
No, I didn't tell his school that he was a school shooter.
And do nothing only to find out, the kid went psycho and killed people.
No, I didn't tell his school that he was a school shooter.
Stop the cap.
Now, why did any of this happen in the first place? Why is an at-the-time 15-year-old edgelord having an argument with an at-the-time 36-year-old man-child?
I'm 36.
This was all over Jax sending a dude a MS Paint glizzy in a stupid argument on Discord. Not a real Nathan's hot dog, a crude doodle in MS Paint.
Who's been drawing?
I also did more research into this and found a video about Jax, and it claims he did send more than the MS Paint glizzy. He also sent a drawing of Perry the Platypus giving Doofenshmirtz the Suckinator. Yeah, not cool, Jax, but I still don't think any of this was worth doxing a kid over. Y'all need to learn what a block and report button is. They're both teenagers having a stupid argument on the internet. Why does it at the time a 36-year-old man need to get involved in this to teach that Jax a lesson? To assert his authority? Why is any of this your responsibility, Tubby? You call the child school because he threatens to shoot you on the internet, and you made the threats at him first? Saying that you come over to his house like you're not being the creep here?
You want me to come to your house?
Come on, Convoy, you even admit it yourself. You're not afraid of his BB guns, aren't you?
I'm not worried about some dumb 15-year-old making threats about firearms. If I want to ruin your life, I'll just call your school and tell them you made the threat, and you won't get anywhere in life.
The point I'm making here is at the time a 36-year-old man-child doxed a 15-year-old edgelord over a petty Discord screaming match because of MS Paint Johnson doodle. Not a real one, a crude doodle in MS Paint.
But you see, Jax was sexually harassing them. Therefore, I needed to dox them.
Learn what a fucking block button is, you fat, middle-aged, wannabe father retard. This all could have been solved with a simple block and report, but no! The 38-year-old man-child's gotta dox a child to teach him a lesson. And the sad thing is that people are defending Leo for this stuff. I mean, look at the comment section on Jax's video. This right here is pathetic. And this wouldn't be the first time that Leo Convoy tried to insert himself into a child's life because of his petty ego or hero complex. Even more recently with the Miles situation with Hopeless Peaches sticking her nose into a situation that doesn't even involve her. There was a 17-year-old kid named Miles who was getting accused of a lot of degenerate shit. A classic internet spat, if you will. Hopeless Peaches thought it was a good idea to insert herself in this situation by talking to one of the people that tried to accuse Jax. And then the infamous I'm your senior meme became a thing. So to put it in a nutshell, that person that Peaches was talking to didn't want their help in any of this. This led to Peaches doing a puppy chant and being all super sad on the internet and threatening to kill herself. Enough of the beluga whale, let's talk about what the lion did. Leo thought it was a good idea to try and track down this Miles kid with all these allegations being thrown at him. So, you know what he did? He tracked down a Discord server that Miles used to be in, and asked for his docs information. Now, why did Leo do any of this? Because he wanted to see if Miles was okay. Why does a 38-year-old man need to know if a 17-year-old that isn't even his own child is okay? This is not your responsibility, Chet Goldstein. That's the kid's actual parents' responsibility. Please, stop trying to be everybody's daddy, dude. Just listen to your own words.
Hey, you're not her parent, you literal moron!
Oh no, I just said the secret word that Leo hates to get called by. Daddy. A thing that Leo likes to do is call anyone who makes fun of his found family LARP or how much he likes to flex being a father figure when what he really isn't. Is say that anyone that's making fun of him by calling him daddy, or saying he has sex with Hopeless Peaches, that he fucks Hopeless Peaches just to mock him, is doing sexual harassment when it's not that deep.
Look at yourself. Look at your daddy. Pull up a mirror. You're a fucking weirdo too. And again, I've been saying
Zay sure likes to sexualize things a lot. I'm noticing a pattern here. In fact, let's unpack that a bit. Let's assume that Peaches and I are in some sort of relationship. I mean, we're not, but let's assume. Why would that be an issue for Zay? Oh yeah, Zay has a pattern of wanting info about someone's sex life, made up or not. They're just that level of desperate for dirt. And yes, since I know Zay's gonna be listening, I know about your conversations with Toasty. Toasty Vanilla, in case you forgot. I know about that. Peaches is an adult, and frankly, doesn't call me daddy. Ugh. That's another claim that came from Ironess, the CSEM distributor, when they tried to lie and pass that nonsense to Duck on the radio. The other option here is that Zay does understand that Peaches and I's relationship is familial, being found family, in which case that means Zay likes to spread false claims, which they do, and has been demonstrated so far, or they just randomly sexualize family members to the point that they think that's normal. Whichever way, it's gross and further demonstrates Zay's obsession and derangement with sexual things, up to and including condoning and spreading sexual harassment to demean a woman he's got beef with.
I love that in this clip, Leo says that Kai is the only one making it sexual, when it's clear that Tons of Fun is the only one thinking that.
It's yourself. Look at your daddy. Pull up a mirror. You're a fucking weirdo too. And again, I've been saying.
Zay sure likes to sexualize things. A lot. I'm noticing a pattern here. In fact, let's unpack that a bit. Let's assume that Peaches and I are in some sort of relationship. I mean, we're not, but let's assume. Why would that be an issue for Zay?
Let's assume that Peaches and I are in some sort of relationship. Why would that be an issue for Zay?
Leo, it's not that deep. People are mocking you for being a weirdo and adopting mentally unstable adults and calling them your adopted children. Again, it's not that deep, and nobody cares that you were trying to help them and give them shelter from terrible places in their life. It's the fact that you called these adults your children. You acted like you legally adopted these people.
And that Peaches and I's relationship is familial.
Why does it never come to your mind to call these people that you let live at your house to get them out of a bad situation, just to call them your roommates or something more sane like that? You always had to call them your found family, your surrogate children.
I already have 3.5 surrogate children, and at least they want to improve their surroundings.
You are just asking to be made fun of here. Hey Leo, I got some great advice to start a family. How about you make your own offspring? You have something under that gunt, right? Penis! And to go back to the point of Kai Weiss making it sexual, which your video is full of dude trust me bro moments and just fiddling around with your model kit yapping with nothing on the screen. I love this little bit of you just saying,
Let's assume that Peaches and I are in some sort of relationship.
Hey, Jughead, who's this? Did you forget your wife existed when making this line? Your publicly known about wife that's connected to your Facebook that goes by the name of
Thomas Guerra.
You are a married Christian man. That would be the problem here. Wow, Joshua Kilogram pulling out the polygamy and Mormonism card when people make fun of how much he sucks off his precious peachy weechy. Feeding the artist, more like feeding the trolls. You keep on giving them attention by mentioning this crap. You can just deny the claim or move on. You do not need to make a Ben Shapiro-styled hypothetical argument about a non-existent relationship because people mock you or theorize that you riz up hopeless Peaches. Hey, it's not my fault you call her like a toddler on your stream.
A ducky, a ducky, a ducky, a duck, a duck, a duck, a duck, a duck.
Kill yourself. Let me repeat, Leo. People aren't sexually harassing you. It's mocking you. Welcome to the internet. People are going to say and send to you vile shit whether you like it or not. You are not entitled to not be made fun of. Because I'll be real with you, Mr. Guerrera, I've been sent worse. This is the internet. You're going to get trolled no matter what, no matter how big or small you are. Because troll shielding does not exist. People will hate you for petty or legitimate reasons and try their best to get under your skin like a parasite. So, cry about it, daddy boy. You're gonna see a charred corpse or a home-style aborted fetus on a metal clothes hanger, whether you like it or not. You saw it, it made you mad, you reacted to it, and they're going to do it again. You can say you're not mad in the comment section all you want, you keep on giving them attention. Let me quote a famous song.
You've been trolled, yes, you've probably been told. Don't reply to this guy, he's just trying to get a rise out of
Enough! Oh, and before you pull the sexual harassment claim that you love to staple on anyone who gets in your way, the whole entire, you can't make rapist sex jokes, that just means you're a rapist without any victims yet. Mind explaining, when you were asking for a user's age, you threatened to plow their mother if they didn't reveal said age? Remember this, Gemworld Convoy?
So you're gonna see what these people are like and the stupid excuses they make. Talking about sexually assaulting people. Well, it's a joke, bro. It's a joke. It's not a joke. Especially when you say in anger, it's venting. And if your immediate vent is to talk about how you want to sexually assault people, yeah, You're just a rapist without any victims yet.
Huh? Huh?
You're just a rapist without any victims yet.
You must be from Reddit.
Leo says you're a rapist if you make rape jokes, yet has made rape jokes himself.
Very interesting.
Leo, the point here is that you know what you're saying is not serious, because you're not going to do it. I think you know what an empty threat is, Leo, especially with Jax.
I'm not worried about some dumb 15-year-old making threats about firearms.
Also, here's more proof of Leo being edgy behind the scenes. Let's go to Kiwi Farms, shall we? Here's some favorited posts on Leo Convoy's Kiwi Farms account with the hard R in them. And don't be giving me any of that bullshit that you gave other people, mistaking that hard R for a soft A. One of these favorited posts have it there 3 times. Oh, and just to prove that I'm not Inspect Eleming this to frame some random person as Leo Convoy, here's me refreshing the page, and there it is. They're right there in the recent post.
Very interesting.
He's also admitted that this is his real account.
Dank, Fidel!
So, let's look at all these favorited posts. Here's you reacting with a like to a dude calling a creep a faggot.
Based.
Here's you also reacting on the same thread to another user calling said creep the N-word and making fun of their voice.
Based.
And here's the infamous triple deluxe N-word on a thread that was made to criticize you, with said post mocking the thread 3 times with the N-word. And again, you reacted positively.
Based and red pill!
Leo, you criticize people for being edgy and saying mean words like slurs and whatever on the internet, but meanwhile, here you are approving of them. Last year, after your whole entire restructure of the Senate after the Rosa call. And just because you didn't say these posts doesn't excuse you being a hypocrite here, Leo. This just shows that you only care about people saying edgy words, slurs, and making rape jokes when it's against you and not in favor of you. I also find it hilarious that you criticize me and Grimskull for not steering movement away from vulgarity, but you were perfectly fine with your precious 25-year-old adopted daughter, Peachy Weechy, saying vulgar stuff in your streams.
Eat the shit out of me, Daddy.
Delicious! Love doing rules for me, not for thee when it comes to your Senate group, don't you, Leo? Again, like with a certain mod and a certain horse image. You know, I think it's time we talk about that now. It's time to talk about the thing that Leo Convoy and his whole group will laugh off when confronted about. When it's the exact thing they fight against and criticize other people for doing. It's time to talk about their infamous moderator or ex-moderator, I don't know, I know they're still in his circle, Baji. Baji has a thing for spamming people with a pornographic image of a dolphin going up a horse's rear end that I already foreshadowed with the Gilded Poo raid thing that happened earlier. To cut the app crap, he likes to post feral porn at people. Also known as hand-drawn zoophile porn.
But it's okay because it has a cartoony face and it's not real, it's a drawing!
Shut up! Shut up!
The thing about this is that Baji was or is a friend of Leo that's been around ever since the beginning of his pedo hunter career, which has lasted for
my 5 years of predator hunting.
To his own admission. Your troon buddy Seraphina admits these horse posting actions in the comments of Gilded Poo's first video about you, Mr. Convoy, so let me just read it for you. Just gonna scroll down here, and here's the full text of it. Oh, and to clarify, I didn't spearhead the raid or encourage Baji to light it up. Quite frankly, I'm not a fan of the comic either. Curse beam for barrel time. But you're not gonna see that shit on my computer. Nope. Lamau. For those who don't know, Barrel Time refers to a server that Seraphina and Leo were in the beginning of their pedo hunter days. Top of the Barrel it's called. A server that, from what I've heard, was ran by Joshua Vida, an ex-friend of Leo, and now infamous brony Pedo. The server was also loaded with bronies, like good old FNGR. The guy that Mr. Medicare laughed at for simping doodle tones and being a cuck to his wife. Look at the Hugbox Chronicles if you want more info about that. This rabbit hole of autism goes deep. Link to that below.
You're grifting and you don't give a fuck about kids.
You know what this means, right? With Seraphina knowing about Baji doing this stuff before the Senate even existed, right? Your whole group knew about this guy's behavior and you were actively okay with it until the end bits of 2023. So here's more proof of you guys being okay with Baji being in your little server. In June of 2023, there's a recording of a call that happened on the 16th. And right there in the mod rolls, you can see Mr. Dolphin Guy right there. What's being talked about in this call has nothing to do with this video. It's just proof that you guys had Baji in your server as a moderator in 2023, right after the first Cats Warfox video. Also, when any time that you've been confronted about this crap, you laughed it off and said it as a joke, do a lollipop excuse saying, "It's not real zoo porn," or make excuses for keeping Dolphin Guy Baji Boy around for so long by saying, "We got him to stop posting that."
Actively proves that. And before I hear the Cope Mafia go on about Baiji, Dolphin, a couple things. Dolphin comic, while absolute cringe, should never have been posted. I agree. Which is why, when Cass brought it to my attention that it's a problem, I did my best to remove it and was told it was never going to be posted again. That is not implying that Baiji's sexually attracted to it.
Yeah, totally valid excuse. Mind my sarcasm and your double standards here, Leo, cause if Baji wasn't so chummy with you, you get rid of him and call him a sodomite. You wouldn't be making these excuses if this guy wasn't so buddy-buddy with you. I find it ironic that you brag about getting rid of FNGR, Coyote Lovely, and Zercalo in your video about Cass, yet you made dumb excuses for this brony boy over here when he's doing similar stuff that Gil the Pooh has done.
This is a lesson I've had to learn throughout my 5 years of predator hunting. From Anthony, aka FNGR, to Coyote Lovely.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing?
Then why were you and your Senate posse completely okay with this guy being around you for so long? Years, in fact. Posting his horse porn comic in your server announcements. Having 2 emotes from said comic.
It's right here, huh? Sex with animals.
Along for some reason having a gay punishment system for breaking your excessive list of rules and joke rules. And one of those punishments was to redraw this feral porn comic, along with other feral porn images too.
You see, Senate has a lot of stupid rules. If you break one of them, you will have to draw something, like a disturbing dolphin comic. Or you can sing. By the way, I always pick the singing option. When I got into a Senate call, I just woke up, so I was a little groggy. The rule I broke was saying the word based. No, I'm not joking, the rules in this Discord were actually that stupid.
That just adds to this deranged mess of degeneracy and shows that you guys treat this all as a power fantasy. For all I know, there could be even more recreations of feral poon because
it was for the funnies, the giggles, the lols. You're just fake mad.
Because, it's a joke. I'm tired of that excuse.
Fuck you.
Also, nice job giving your moderators rule immunity too. Again, great double standards, Discord Daddy. There's also a rumor of you guys in the past having minors in the Senate server from 2021 to mid-2022. Again, this is a rumor, I'm not confirming. These images could be from Leo's nerd server, Book of Omens.
Whoa, whoops!
Oh wait, never mind. I just found on Kiwi Farms that Serafina admits that there was minors in the Senate once upon a time. Also, right under this screenshot of Serafina admitting that there was minors in the Senate is a screenshot of your daughter Opal on May 1st of 2020, posting something very suggestive in the Senate. Apparently, this was also posted in the Arena chat room, a chat room that anybody could see. This happened in 2020, so don't try to use the excuse of these Baji images being in 2022, or the excuse that this was for the beta situation.
You mega moron.
That means there's also a possibility that Leo and his crew are guilty of exposing this horse-on-dolphin action to minors. Again, it's a possibility. For all I know, Leo's fridge could have been a locked chat. But Baji did post it in announcements, and there's a lot of proof that you did make people recreate this stuff for the lols, the giggles, the funny ha-has.
How are you a Christian exactly?
Wow, that's very Christian of you, Rabbi Convoy. Yeshua is totally smiling right now. Everyone knows the famous quote in Corinthians 69:14-84.
You must draw the horses getting sodomized for the glory of Jesus Christ, Goyim.
This shit makes me want to self-harm.
The thing about Convoy is that he's called people zoophiles for making, consuming, and posting his kind of goon material no matter the context. Leo has stated multiple times that if you're into feral, you probably fuck dogs, and I agree with that statement. Feral fags need to die. He stated this multiple times in his videos about Cass and crew.
It seems, digging into Cedric's for Affinity account, that Ceddy here is really into feral porn himself. Some Balto action, a brush with the Berenstein Bears. Very interesting.
So, my question is, why do you excuse this behavior that one of your mods has done multiple times in and out your server, and has done before said server even existed, several times with lolicon tier excuses, and you just saying, oh, well, he doesn't do it anymore. We got him to stop. Therefore, it's okay to keep him around. When it's kind of obvious you would not tolerate the material that he's posted, let alone give him the excuse of it's in the past. I guess that zero tolerance policy you brag about only applies to people that you know will get you in trouble when you play Pretend Hero, like Lovely, FNGR, and Zercalo, because people know those guys, unlike your discount Gilded Poo over here. Hey, in your logic, Leo, you're a zoophile defender and enabler, because you're okay with this Baji dude posting his feral porn comic for the lulz, and being okay with people redrawing it as a punishment, and this all happening in a chat room called, well, Leo's Fridge. Hey, Thomas, is your refrigerator running? Cause last time I checked, they don't run on horsepower. Bruh, I would love to see the dumbass Vouch tier level excuse that Leo is going to make for this. Leo could say that minors weren't in the Senate at the time when his horse stuff was made. Still doesn't excuse the fact that you were okay with your moderator telling people to redraw this stuff. Leo could say that this happened years ago and we stopped doing that behavior. Therefore, you can't criticize us for this. It's all addressed. We changed for the better. We restructured the server, guys. Bullshit. Does it excuse now that all you Senate folk are now suddenly caring about the FCK server, the server that minors and adults were sending pornography to each other? And for some reason, nobody did anything or talked about it for 4 years. And people never talked about you and your butt buddy Baji making people redraw horse porn for the funny ha-has for God knows how long. Kumo never talked about it. Akumu never talked about it. Well, not on YouTube. Not even Kai Weiss talked about it. And if he did, I'm pretty sure that Leo Convoy would be in way more hot water than he is right now. Listen, Tubby, you're only really doing that one Moist Critical meme at this point. You know the one about that Maximilian Musk guy, so I made a special version just for you.
No, you don't understand. The feral porn was a joke. It was a goof. It's funny. Why aren't you laughing?
Again, I would love to see what kind of bullshit tier excuse that Leo or his Senate posse are going to pull out of their ass when trying to defend this horse comic. Because if they say, shock value, it's just a joke, then in their own twisted logic, I can post Ronnie McNutt in them and they don't have the right to complain. It does not matter if you post it for shock value or not, and I do not care how long ago it was. It still is what it is. That's a dolphin diving into a horse. And that's a man blasting his head off with a shotgun. Enough of old Ronnie over here. Let's go back to Leo. So, damn. Thomas, you're looking like Vouch over here with all the horse images you approved of over the years.
Very interesting.
But what did I expect from the guy who was a butt buddy to a bunch of bronies, no less?
Friendship is stupid magic!
So yeah, Gilded Poo called. He wants his petabyte hard drive from 2009 back.
It's very dead.
The funny thing, it's not just Leo that has defended this behavior from Baji. It's a whole bunch of major Senate goons. Serafina basically excuses his behavior with his comment, because it's not in my computer. Yet you knew about this fag for multiple years and seen him post it multiple times because it's just a meme, right? Where a horse getting violated is the punchline. Oh, and before any of you say, well, Baji's not in our circles anymore. Well, before Patrick Hart decided to DFE over some drama, I found on their Twitter that in Serafina's server, he's still in there. So, nice job getting rid of the problem, I guess.
Hi.
Also, Lumi has done it too with the It's Not Real excuse in Discord calls, so sorry Kitty Cat, you might have given me info about Fursky being a freak, but you're also a freak.
Why would you send it to people, like, unprovoked? Like, why?
Because he found it hilarious. You're missing the point. I already mentioned this 3 months prior in this general chat room that I called IG unfunny because he used shock humor as a funny, got you moment, but if you're actually going to go out of your way to make people troll that kind of crap, that's no, stop.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little concerning sign.
It does not help the case either when Lumi himself confirmed that he was doing the Wally argument.
Dude, my experience with Cass is just, I want to keep talking and talking and talking, but I want answers. And I remember in that call, like, look,
It's no secret, I'm Polish. I'd struggle with English to explain shit. I've had problems with Lio understanding me sometimes. It's like, yeah, I did technically pull off the fucking lolly argument while trying to explain something. In fact, I was trying to point out that it was hypocritical that they were giving fucking Vlad the pass while Baiji doing something less severe wasn't.
I mean, it kind of is a lolly pass, let's be real.
Oh yeah, no, I'll fucking admit, I fucked up on.
And your most infamous lackey, Doodle Tones, does it too. Right smack dab in the middle of their video going over Diora's shitty document about the Senate, they make a whole speech doing the "it's not real" thing for what Baji did.
So a couple of things to touch upon here, and I think we should start with the elephant in the room. Cass asks why would the Senate keep Baiji if they posted that image around, and as a moderator. And the crux of the answer that they got was that the image did spark a discussion that ended with Baiji no longer posting the image within the chat, which corroborates with Lio's story. It was also worth noting by Looney, the person who was answering the question, that it's not like any animals were actually harmed in the creation of that image, and that Baiji doesn't really find it sexual, but rather absurd in nature. Again, I want to clarify that I also don't really think the image is particularly appropriate, and while I admit that I too have my fair share of absurd schemes on my computer, I don't think they are that bad. However, one's personal morality about this image could contain a level of nuance that whataboutism only really attempts to deflect. Using the lolicon counter-retort given in this clip as an example, most lolicons rely on the fictionalization of the images to justify sexual attraction towards underage characters. IG presumably is sharing these images because they're silly, and without solid evidence supporting the contrary, I'm just gonna have to kind of go off of these word here.
And the fucking Looney Tune has the audacity to reference this in the thumbnail of the video with a picture of a dolphin. I don't even need to elaborate on it. I mean, come on, Senate, come on. You're not even being subtle with this, you're just being unapologetic. What did I expect from a biological male who roleplayed as an 8-year-old getting groped when they were 18?
The Game Girl RP. Technically, this is out of order since it was 2015, but since we're talking about them now, and this one did spark up a little bit of controversy in 2018 that got some very not-so-nice allegations lobbed at me, I feel like I should talk about it now. Mainly because of the not-thought-out descriptor of the character not being physically older than 8 years old, and then having one of the people I was role-playing with have a character that was supposed to be moldable, grow breast only to grope them. It's a little creepy, sure, I don't really have an excuse for how creepy it sounds, and I'm not gonna defend it on the basis of it being creepy or otherwise uncomfortable. I was a stupid 18-year-old by this point who didn't know how to tell people that I was uncomfortable.
Stupid 18-year-old, stupid 18-year-old, stupid 18-year-old.
Shut the fuck up, you baby-raping sodomite!
If Major Clue can be criticized for hitting on a 12-year-old when he was 17, because that's not applicable with R&J laws, then people could do the same thing for Doodle Dobson roleplaying as an 8-year-old when he was 18 years old.
Well, this is where Doodle Tones live.
Oh, come on, Doodle Troons. Come on. People are gonna call you that. You literally self-admitted to it in your little response video. Akumu also proved you wrong with that person in that roleplay being your groomer. This Kirby guy is not the same person as that guy. Akumu also proved in his videos against you that you went back on an alt account to continue said degenerate roleplay.
We used to chat a lot with each other, and when I say chat a lot, I mean we chatted a lot. We met November 22nd, 2014, so remember I was still 17 at this time.
The degeneracy came before the grooming, on top of the fact that the roleplay was with Kirby, not with Alex, who is Doodle Tones' groomer.
But I was uncomfortable.
That clip has Susie again claiming he was being uncomfortable with the roleplay, just didn't know how to tell people that. There are plenty of people like that who are too nice and polite to convey that they're uncomfortable with something. So I would buy that if Doodles had made an alt and returned on the alt to continue the roleplay. Now, aside from expansion, what else can you do? I can be any way you want me, basically.
Stop! Come on, Doodle Diddler. Come on. You really thought you were going to get away with that, did you? Also to Akumu, thank you so much for your service and documenting all this stuff. Tell Future Butters I said hi. Now, you think I'd be done with Leo and crew's fake-ass hero LARP? Not even close. I'm only halfway through. I really gotta talk about how this 38-year-old man-child would not stop sucking off hopeless peaches until, well, his precious Peachy threw him under the bus.
Ducky, ducky, ducky! Every single time!
So much for found family, am I right? Am I right, Mr. Big Daddy Convoy?
Eat the shit out of me, Daddy.
And Leo, before you pull the sexual harassment card you love to use so much when anyone says you fuck hopeless peaches or you have sex with your adopted daughters. People are being mean to you. People are saying that because you white-knighted hopeless peaches like the fat beluga whale she is. People are not making sexual advancements to you. They are insulting you. Just because people say suck and fuck to you, doesn't mean they actually want to do it to you.
This person just sexually harassed me!
Why does this fat man act like every time people say he fucks hopeless peaches or he has sex with his daughters, he acts like people just walked up to his house and said,
I am looking for some action!
Anyways, back to making fun of the wannabe daddy and his ex-pet land whale. You know, Leo, I could bring up that one situation where you ass-patted hopeless peaches over the Miles stuff that was a genuine fustercluck. But man, your addressing stuff video does the job for me. Holy crap, you admit to some stupid shit!
A lot of people are wondering how Peaches survived for so long without a job. I'm the reason why. Including the new iPad I got him so he could do his commissions. I spent over $8,000 to help Peaches survive.
This is an RTX 4080.
Nice job admitting to giving $18K to this fat British chick and getting her an iPad to draw art instead of, you know, telling this person that you're helping and rehabilitating to get a job, along with just making posts helping her eBay because my taxes. And in the same video, you complain that she made fun of you and called you fat. Heavens forbid that she drew you not buff. Heavens forbid!
Peaches was also regularly demeaning and insulting to me in both private and public. While I always took the public stuff as playful ribbing, it's been made clear to me by people around me that it's not okay. Peaches attacked my appearance, regularly tried to emasculate me, undermine me, and if I was dealing with something that had nothing to do with him, it was downplayed.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Leo, don't play that game. You have no problem when people on the internet insult you to call you fat, but when Peaches did it, apparently it's a bad thing now? You know what she was doing. She was bantering you. She wasn't insulting you, you dumbass. No, wait, you're not a dumbass. You know what you're doing. You're a pity farmer. Your whole addressing video is pity farming and just pointing the fingers at other people saying, wow, I did a bad thing, but these people did bad things too.
There is no dirt on me.
Despite that you break the knife commandment anytime it could benefit you. You even admit to lying in the video.
I had to be there. I took the heat. I took the hits. I was used as a sword and shield by Peaches to both friend and foe, even when he was completely in the wrong. I am Lio Convoy. I am just another dishonest retard.
Leo, I'm just gonna be real with you. Peaches might have used you for all that money you gave her. All that defense you gave her anytime she got into trouble on the internet. You all really just enabled her. I'm not talking just about you. I'm talking about the whole Senate. In your conundrum video, in your rushed-ass bit about Akumu and Kumo, you made a whole bit defending Peaches saying, wow, she didn't know that there were minors in the FCK, when Akumu called you out.
Hello everyone, this is Teachers, and today I have quite a serious video. I will not be having any names in this, mostly because the word is spread out the internet enough, and everyone will just say it in the comment section anyway, so I might as well skip over that. Instead, because I will be saying names in this video, I 100% encourage you not to go harass anyone. If you have any grievances with my video, go ahead and tell me how you have any grievances with anyone, any part of you in this video that I'm talking about. Don't go and tell them, please. Let's be respectful, and go through this in a respectful, calm manner, going back to their person. So what did happen, and what am I talking about? Well, a YouTuber by the name of Madam has recently been accused of stealing parts from a 15-year-old article.
Now, Peaches was in the server, it was aware when she acknowledged when she said so much more, and this fan tagger the more. She was also aware of at least one member that is Slurs, who was in the server. She got a screenshot, she posted a screenshot of the neighbor's own chat, inside the neighbor's own chat, that Slurs is a screenshot, because she scrolled back through. This was just talking about how she walked in on PC, which was turned off, and she got a screenshot of what she tells Slurs that. So like, people still believe that Peaches didn't know there was at least one liner in the server that she knew to share for it. That server was she referred to by. Oh, you're not gonna believe this. I have a shriek for you guys. By shriek, I need something that Lio was not gonna like a bitch. You guys are idiots. So I reached out to Slurs, she was like, account, she's moved on for a review. See, I requested that we have this conversation on our old accounts in the Senate and our community. Like I said, I'm just talking to somebody else and saying this Slurs. So here's a conversation we just had on her account confirming that this is Slurs. She said, okay, I'm Peaches knowing your next server, I review interacting. She said, yes, I'm 100% happy, especially interacting calls the server too. And she would occasionally comment. We literally talked back and forth from there, and suddenly she literally trusted me to give her personal friend server with the whole client on the wrong time. She didn't send a screenshot. I did her one that I recently showed, where Peaches screenshot her and Toasty conversation about the whole church on the PC situation. She says, like, come on. My name was literally everywhere in the server, there's no way she didn't know I was on there. This literally has to be extra. I said, thank you, I appreciate it, she said, no problem. If you have any more questions, just let me know. And I said, okay. So Lio said, what's the excuse? So I'm going to say Slurs is no longer credible because she heard that conversation with me. I think it's your code for this, it's your code for everything else.
You were willing to lie for this fat beluga whale to save her skin. And what does she do? She put a knife in your back.
And this is the problem I have with all you cocksucking idiots bringing up feed every time you beef with me. You drag the trauma of his victims out for a gotcha on the guy who tried to help them. You are an unrepentant, immoral scumbag, and the better off the world would be if you turned yourself into a statistic tonight. Dick up with my family. Bring them into it and see what happens.
Man, this quote right here aged incredibly well. So, what found family now? What found family? Peachy's gone, Jordan's gone, those two other ones are gone. It's just you now. And maybe Doodle Tones.
and nothing of value was lost.
You would always brag about this found family, how anytime people would make fun of you for it, they're sexually harassing you. They're just getting a cheap gotcha on you. Well, now look where you are. You got like 4 knives in your back. And I love that little bit in your video that you said your daddy abused you when you were young. Yeah, congratulations. That's horrible. But the excuse that you make right behind it saying,
when I was a kid, my old man abused me in every way but sexually. As is normal, I picked up some of his habits and traits, and I've been working to alter them. It's where my authoritative tone and general demeanor comes from. So, like most victims of abuse, I always worried about winding up like the person that abused me. That's one of the reasons why I never had kids.
Huh? My dad abused me when I was young, so I didn't have any biological children because I was afraid to abuse him.
Then why did you, in quotations, adopt 4 mentally unstable adults and claim that they were your children?
Why?
Why?
Oh, let me guess. The answer is that you just want to help these people. The only thing you really helped was give Hopeless Peaches bank.
I spent over $8,000 to help Peaches survive.
Was helping always white-knighting Peaches anytime she got into trouble on the internet or anybody dare criticize her? Was helping enabling her childish behavior anytime she got called out? No, it wasn't. You just simped her. You white-knighted her anytime she got into trouble. And I really don't think anyone's gonna fall for your little sob story of finally noticing that Peaches was abusing you after a bad game of Among Us, where she threatened to kill herself over not being the imposter.
This, despite my attempts to help Peaches make friends with the other members of the art commentary community. That if people in Senate didn't want to be around or didn't want to play with Peaches, that's on me. Because this grown adult can't make friends on his own and then has to blame someone else for that instead of addressing his own behavior. He accused me of being mean to him, again, because I let him game without realizing he wanted to keep playing. My note taker is getting very frustrated at this point. When he says, I just wanted to play a game and you just ruined it for me. He's blaming the fact that he wasn't enjoying himself on me when he was clearly not having fun before I left. I'm not in control of the people who were voting him out. I was dead at the time. I don't control the game. I wasn't the code stopping him from getting the imposter role. My note taker speculates that Peaches was upset by the fact that nobody stuck around so that he could get his coveted imposter role, so he had to make someone feel small so that he could feel better about himself. He was upset that people weren't seeking his approval in game and doing what he wanted. So he had to try to force someone to seek his approval. Because that's what he wanted from the people in that Senate call. He demanded I apologize to him for leaving the game. Peaches then projects his own behavior onto me by accusing me of pinning everything on him. As if he hadn't just been blaming him not being able to enjoy the game on me, as well as the people on my server not being his friends. Peaches says that he doesn't want to be president of my server anymore, because he couldn't win at a game of Among Us. Some of you might think I'm being too mean and pointing out that Peaches has the emotional regulation of a toddler. But Peaches admits that himself. All of this culminates in Peaches saying, nobody wants me around, I want to be dead. Despite my multiple attempts to fix the situation, despite me offering to jump back into a game with him that I don't really consider myself a fan of, at the start of a call, he goes to this kind of extreme.
Yo, is this person fucking retarded?
Yes.
Really, now is the time that you notice that Peaches is a suicide baiter? After a bad game of Among Us? After all the other times that you admitted she did it? Now is the time that you notice that she was never going to kill herself? After the 2 long years of abuse you had to suffer with the Peachy Weechy, now is the time you notice that she just suicide baits? I mean, come on, Leo, you gotta be smarter than this. How many times does a bitch have to threaten to slit her wrist in front of you to notice that she's just never going to do it and is only doing it for attention? I mean, come on.
Sideways for attention, long ways for results.
Puppy Chan called. She wants her excuses back. I also love that you end your addressing things video with taking completely out of context what happened to Kumo and getting a girl to cut his name into his thigh, when it was obviously clear if you watched any of his videos that the bitch had a fetish for it and has done this multiple times.
Okay, to preface this a little before we get into what you're about to see, Kumo is being accused of convincing a girl to cut herself, specifically to cut his name in her thigh. The thing that's really important to note is they were in a DM group, and in that DM group, that girl was explicitly trying to get everybody in there to cut. And this was all cutting as a sexual fetish. This wasn't like a I'm emo and want to kill myself, as much as it was a sexual fetish. This is very obviously noted at the very start of this DM group, where she straight up basically announces her intent by making jokes about grooming, even going as far as to state that she finally got Kumo to do it and all that other shit. Her intent was very clear from the very start of this DM group. And the reason I keep saying as a sexual fetish is because Convoy likes to frame it as self-harm, as like he was trying to convince this very depressive person to hurt themselves out of depression. That isn't the case at all. It was very much a sexual thing. And everybody in there were consenting adults. So honestly, I don't give a shit. And that is my preface to all of this. And now I'm going to show you the first clip.
He claims he was panicked, that people were clamoring for their names to be cut, that he did it to get her to carve the shortest name.
That's actually a direct misquote of what he actually said. What he said was this.
Everyone at this time had really long names except for myself and one other individual.
Yeah, he didn't say he had the shortest name, and you showcased that yourself.
Do you hear any panic? Any others clamoring for their names to be cut? Even their names lighting up in the Discord thing when you've seen it? And if you'll see it, you'll see that there's no other names lighting up in the Discord call. No, because that's all a lie.
What Lio Convoy just did was straight up lie, whilst calling Kumo a liar. He is taking advantage of the fact that very few people are actually going to bother clicking the link in the pinned comment to go to the Google Drive to listen to the entire 2.5-minute call. And if they did, they would see why Lio refused to show on screen any of that 2.5 minutes, because if you bothered doing so, you would find this.
Watch if you dog strap chat and like force him to join. Yeah, that'd be best as fuck. Someone just stalk him, like force him to join. If he doesn't join, you just like go to his address. Yeah. I've never seen trap chat in real life. I don't know how he looks like.
If anybody did actually click that link and then watch the 2.5-minute clip of an entire hours-long conversation, they would see that a person in that clip is having a conversation with another person they cannot hear. The reason they can't hear him is not because that the Discord is muted, because if it were muted, well, you wouldn't see it light up. The reason why you can't hear it is for the same reason is because the guy was muted in OBS. That's why.
For the claims of this being in a kink server, nope. Group chat. Here's a screen cap of the chat.
Oh my god, guys. Holy fuck. Hold on. Oh, it wasn't a server. It was a group chat. You got him.
Along with evidence that she was trying to get Kumo into this cutting stuff and got him to cut first.
To start, here are some examples of her degeneracy. First one is the infamous screenshot of her referencing the cut sign that was in her banner. Allegedly, the source being Asta herself, they did this while they were sexting. The second one is proof of the cut sign and them talking about it. It is they've posted it in chat and said, I love Asta, and they were trying to have like a cutesy moment. The third screenshot displays her general attitude about self-harm. This one not only displays that she's trying to coerce people into doing it with her, but she also wants people to validate these behaviors. The fourth screenshot is just the updated group chat name after she named it Asta's Shotas. She threatened to dox me and try and get me cancelled if I continue making videos like I had in the past talking about how Lolicon is fucking sick and it's pedophilic. It should already go without saying that this is something we butted heads on and something I clearly didn't fucking approve of. She would also later go on to frequently make jokes about raping animals like dolphins and such. At first I thought she was joking. My plausible deniability here is that this is after she had leverage over me and she was already using it. So I didn't see this coming until long after the mistake had been made and she had leverage over me. So I wasn't aware. I didn't see it coming. With all that said, do what you will with this information. Oh, and one last little fun fact for you that none of you asked for. She had this thing where she would say that her special interest, because she's apparently autistic according to herself, was South Park. And part of that special interest was her writing fucking erotica of 8-year-olds getting raped. Again, I had long been caught in this bear trap due to my fucking foolish mistake of feeding into her self-destructive habits. I can't stress it enough that it was an isolated incident, and it wasn't until after she had all this leverage and she was actively trying to manipulate me that her true colors really started to shine.
But Kumo suggested it. He was giddy to have his name cut into her thigh.
If you actually listen to the audio, he wasn't giddy, he was monotone, you dumb fat fuck. Stop twisting things for your own agenda. Also, smooth move saying you're gonna find where Kumo lives and report him to police for fake-ass Discord threats.
This part of the video is where it gets a little bit more interesting. You see, Kumo got falsely DMCA struck by a guy that goes by Beta Brush. He's a fucking retard with a speech impediment. Fuck that guy. And anyway, he came into my Discord to kind of justify himself as to why he tried to DMCA strike Kumo's video on Lio Convoy. However, with that said, he only of course shows a little tiny clip of an entire 2-hour call, which by the way, you can actually watch the entirety of that call, where we actually get Beta Brush to revoke that very false DMCA strike.
Because your speech impediment makes it
Because you're
funny.
fucking beta. I don't know, like, I put 2 and 2 together really quickly. Yeah, it's what a bit, but you know, tell me what to do. Oh, that way, tell me what to do, Beta Brush. Beta Brush, we're gonna you. We're gonna you, Beta Brush. No, we're not we're not gonna bicker with you and call Beta Brush. We're actually trying to find where you live because we're gonna you tonight. You're gonna get the petroleum jelly Beta. So it's gonna be like, it's gonna be a prison rape Beta. Beta, you're getting shove Lego into your phone. Beta, we're gonna stuff your asshole with ice cubes.
We're gonna slide in trap blade inside your penis, and you're gonna be like, all over the place.
Beta, we're gonna sound you with a screwdriver.
Kumo can claim this as a joke, whether the person was a predator or something, but threatening someone with sexual assault is unacceptable, full stop.
Wow, I can't believe Kumo is actually legitimately threatening to rape this guy. He's gonna go to his house and shove ice cubes up his butthole and every orifice and even his eyeballs with 16 autistic clowns. Let alone the actual tone of his voice, you can tell he's not being serious here. You're getting upset at an edgelord being edgy on the internet, holy crap. And the pathetic thing of you just admitting that the police are not going to do anything, even if you send a report.
Now I know Kumo has claimed that I've sent cops to his place or whatever, but I have no clue who Kumo is in terms of identity yet. If I had known, I would have called him by his real name by now. I'm not going to allow anonymity for sexual harassers if I can help it. But when I do find out, I'll be sure to file a report. It may not go anywhere, but it'll be there.
I wonder why. It's like you can tell that Kumo is not even being serious here. Even Crystal Flame admits that in their video responding to yours.
It's gonna be a prison rape Beta.
Something I will say real quick here, because I joined the call like right after that shit happened.
Yeah.
It's some fucked edgy humor definitely, but they are very clearly not serious here. I do want to emphasize that to anyone who's not sure about that. They are not serious whatsoever in these clips. It is definitely a type of humor.
Yeah, it's humor.
Just in case if anyone is curious if those clips are actually genuine, no. They were trying to fuck with Beta Brush. Beta Brush kept repeatedly reaching out to people asking for like certain videos to be taken down, even so much as reaching out to me repeatedly. And then sending me a clip of that as well.
It may not go anywhere, but it'll be there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know what an empty threat is, especially with those edgy words you favorited on Kiwi Farms in 2023. At the same time, when the Coyote Lovely stuff was happening, you were still butt buddies with Peachy Weechy. Along with what I showed earlier in this video with you threatening to plow somebody's mother because they didn't tell you their age and sent it. And don't hit me with the, oh, it's in the past excuse that you always do with this stuff.
Also, no, this was 4 years ago. All of this was. This being 4 years old doesn't mean shit because this server has not been talked about. He just did not talk about it until the day before. And also, none of the investigators came out to speak about this server. It wasn't until I got hold of the logs and I started pressing them, like Desi Monster, that any of them began really talking about the server. The only one that was really willing to talk about it was Mad Libs when I reached out to her months ago, which this isn't particularly soft me. Once again, I'm giving Mad Libs a pass. I'm not giving Mad Libs a pass. I'm simply crediting her for being willing to speak about it when all the other people refuse to. The point I'm making here is, the RCC and subsequently said because it's become an RCC hotbox. I have this inconsistent standard on when something can't talk about. But if there are people talking about bullshit, it's okay, it's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter how old it is. This needs talking about. They have no problem feeling bullshit against people. But the second other people talking about bullshit, just to have a conversation about it because it's never been fucking talked about before. Suddenly its age matters and it should be talked about. How convenient is that way?
Oh, the Rosary Ramsey call? Oh, that's in the past. Baji making people draw horse porn? Oh, that's in the past. You threatening to plow somebody's mother? Oh, that's in the past. You see, we changed the Senate after all that stuff. Every single time we got called out about that, we changed the Senate, guys. We restructured the server.
Nobody cares, nigga!
Why the fuck should anybody give you credence for the stuff you did in the past when you criticize people for the same kind of shit they did in the past? Kumo having a girl cut his name into her thigh despite that said girl had a fetish for it and was trying to get him to cut too. The absolute fustercluck that happened 3 years ago with Kai and Amina's relationship. I don't fucking care! If you're gonna criticize them about it, people have all the right to criticize the stuff you did in the past. Just because you said you changed doesn't excuse you doing it to others. And I don't think you're gonna change at all, especially with the non-apologies you gave to Rosa Ray Ramsey and Jax. With Rosa, you just say, oh yeah, I did apologize to her, even though I got somebody else to do it. And then you just immediately go to saying, well, she's a liar.
Rosa saying they weren't offered an apology is likely misremembering, or in worst case, a lie. And let me rip that band-aid off now. Yes, Rosa is a liar. Although they are on the spectrum and have seizures, I feel the attitude other people have towards Rosa has flipped all the way to ableism in the other direction, by treating Rosa like she has no agency because she has a handler.
And then with Jax, you say you handle his call poorly, and well, if you just get into that and maybe apologize for, calling his school over a fake allegation that you made, that'd have been the most fine and probably truthful apology in his video. But no, you threatened him with legal action because he made some mean calls to you.
And Jax, any further attempts by you and your friends to harass or trouble me will be met with legal action, especially considering the deranged voicemails you've been leaving me. You said you wanted to join the army. Don't blow up because you still think your online actions don't affect your real life.
Allow me to play devil's advocate for Jax here. You think the reason he's sending you these mean old calls and antagonizing you is because, well, you never apologized to him up front. And Leo, I know you did eventually apologize to Jax, even though he had to come to you for the apology.
So I called him up, right? One of my friends got his phone number for me. It was all that, right? Got his information, so I had to call him up. Because he kept on being a pussy, backing out to talk to me. So, so I confronted him directly, and he apologized to me. He said apparently he handled the situation wrong, he should have done that.
And here's the point I want to make. If Jax sent you these calls after you apologized in your video and the whole entire phone call stuff, then I think you have all the legal right to go to the police for that. The fact is that, after what you admit you did to him was wrong, you threatened legal action at him. That's not an apology, that's just being a douchebag. And the sprinkle on top of this shit Sunday is that you threatened legal action on Gilded Poo too, and threatened to take his biological kid away because he's being edgy on the internet.
And now the part that everybody's been waiting on. Me. One thing I forgot to cover is how we spoke to Seraphina when she went to do a server in 2022. Specifically telling her that she needs to be sexually assaulted multiple times. Queen Seraphina and a bunch of other people, from my perspective at the time, raided my server. Now I've since spoken to Queen Seraphina and she told me that it was just a link that was posted in Senate and she happened to be one of the first people to click that link. Alright, fine, fair enough. And I spoke to Queen Seraphina actually about this part of the video, and this is what she had to say. Yeah, so even Queen Seraphina didn't really see this as a huge deal. At least not enough for Lion to put it in a video. And yeah, so no, that whole thing is fucking stupid. So make this very clear. Me and Queen Seraphina have decided to let bygones be bygones. We're no longer like enemies or whatever. It's all chill. Water under the bridge. I never hated Queen Seraphina really to begin with, so it was never really that big of a deal.
He has an obsession with this, as his podcast is chiefly named The Great Cast, meaning that should be unknown. Actually, the name of it is Great Culture, because that's just so much better.
I can't believe it's taken Lio Convoy this long to find the Great Culture stream. It's amazing. A couple things. Number one, more importantly, it's not actually my podcast. It's Gallagher's. I don't even think it was my idea to name it that. Again, I believe it was Gallagher's. And you can actually tell that it's not mine because if you go and listen to any of them, you'll notice a distinct lack of slurs. And also, fuck you, Lio. That name is funny.
The guy is unhinged. His like Kumo's actions in that call were highlighted, having to go to server with him call with zero pushback.
I'm unhinged. You actually talk about how you were afraid you would beat your fucking children if you had them. No, that is fucking unhinged. You fucking weird, twisted, bitch-made fuck. Go fuck yourself. Fucking inbred fuck.
You assume a man with a child in his care would be making such a spectacle of himself and this man online, yet here he is, in his late 30s and being fine with threatening people with sexual assault.
One, it wasn't a threat. If you actually think, again, if you actually believe that Kumo was legitimately going to go find Vader Brush's home and then rape him, you're a fucking idiot or dishonest. Secondly, more importantly than that, however, child in my care, you say. You mean actually having a fucking child? Also, very classy. Very classy that you brought up my kid in this entire drama. Very smart move, indeed.
I've also been told by another person that Gilbert sounds tired. They want to stop getting involved in stuff like this. So here's his chance to punch out and stop pretending like he's going to come out on top. Because sooner or later, his actions will come back to his doorstep. And the police in his area will eventually get involved. It's amazing what you'll be given when you follow leads of people who know your MO. Amazing indeed.
Oh yeah? What leads were you given, Lio? To utilize to call the police on me to get a police visit to essentially get my kid taken away because that's, make no mistake, everything that you just said. So it was kind of an open secret that I had a kid. There were a lot of people that knew about it, but not really that many. You've made everybody hyper aware of the fact that I have a kid, and now it's not going to be too surprising that people in droves are going to use my kid and weaponize my child against me because of you.
Leo, it's kind of evident with this video, you're not going to change. And it's kind of evident with your announcements that you're not going to change. After all, you're going to be dealing with the dorks in the future. My advice is simple. Stop making this kind of content. Stop trying to play pretend hero, because it's evident that you've never helped get predators behind bars at all. You've even admitted multiple times to not being a professional when it could benefit you in an argument, and yet you still act like a professional, Leo.
How exactly are we supposed to lock these people up? We filed reports to the police. That's literally the most we can do on a legal end.
Remember this one.
We had to catch him off guard. We had to make sure his victim was safe because he was going to absolutely target her and still does to this day.
Note that he claims to keep Jordan safe, but then immediately contradicts this statement by saying that they were still targeted by Vita to that very day.
I hunt pedophiles. Excruciatingly heartbreaking it is to have to tell some of these kids, I'm sorry, but if you can't tell your parents and can't call the police, I can't help you. And I live with that every single day.
I hunt pedophiles.
I'm not asking any predator hunter to be someone's psychologist or therapist. We're not made for that. We don't have that knowledge. We barely have the knowledge to do predator hunting. We barely have the knowledge to do predator hunting.
We barely have the knowledge to do predator hunting.
I wouldn't be surprised with this comeback video I'm making to call you out of all the shit you've done behind the scenes that you're gonna relapse back into your behavior and say,
Silverfox1232 fucks dogs because, well, he was a Fox Mafia, and there was like a couple of people there that did that.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck?
Despite that I also shown earlier that there were people in Fox Mafia that never had the thought of screwing a dog in their life. They were against that shit. And I was against that shit. Excuse me for putting too much of my trust into Cass. Hey, since you like guilt by association so much, Leo, maybe people should hold you accountable and responsible for all the freaks that you hang around with. He and Mitsuru defending Fed Ghost, a pedophile that you called out. Doodle Tones admitting that they were 18 years old when role-playing as an 8-year-old on the internet getting groped. And your old butt buddy Baji making people redraw feral porn in your server and spamming people with feral porn because it was funny. It was funny.
That's not funny, you sick fuck.
If Baji was anybody but your friend, you would be treating him the same way as you do Gilded Poo. And I know you're not going to listen to me, Leo. I bet you right now you're typing away in your new Senate server, the Big Cat Lair as you call it, saying,
Silverfox1232 is back. Time to deal with another Fox Mafia dork.
Is everybody a fucking predator to you, Lio?
Despite after all this, I blocked every single member of Fox Mafia that was talking to me. Why would I ever want to go back to a weasel like Cass or a creep like Fursky? I know the real reason why you hate me, Leo. I got it from Jar from trying to contact you and sort this shit out. And trying to contact you and clear this up and say sorry was the most dumbest thing I could have done, right next to drawing that disgusting fetish art when I was a teenager on Fur Affinity. You all want to know the real reason why Leo Convoy hates me and why I get under his skin so much? It's because I said he fucks hopeless peaches. Let me guess, you're gonna use sexual harassment because I said you fuck hopeless peaches. Dude, it's the internet. People say that stuff about other people all the time. Go cry me a river. This right here just shows how absolutely petty and spiteful you are, Leo. But what do I expect from you? What do I expect from the guy who called me a zoophile defender with guilt by association and assumed that I knew everything about these people? You have the gall to call me a zoophile defender because of guilt by association and your petty grudge. And meanwhile, you were completely fine with Baji doing all this stuff of a horse porn image and being a moderator in your server for years. What did I expect from the guy that makes it look like Kai Weiss telling a kid to fuck off? Look like he's being sexual towards said kid. Cause you think every single vulgar insult with sex words in it is literal.
Seems rule for thee, but not for me as a standard, since they chose to keep the video up and told these literal children to... yeah. Read what's on screen. What a thing for an adult to tell children to do. Creep.
Whatever you say, Schizo.
Creep.
Leo Convoy is the kind of guy to tell you to suck his dick while sticking his middle finger up and say it's an insult, but if you say that right back at to him, he acts like you're sexually advancing him. But what did I expect from you? What do I expect from the guy who wants to morally grandstand me and Grimskull about doing nothing about Moomin, his NSFW chat rooms, and never steering him away from vulgarity? Heavens forbid!
Stop, think of the children.
Also saying that Grimskull reporting Josh, Harley's groomer, after noticing he was grooming 2 other kids through the Missing Child Hotline was not reporting him to the proper authorities because he didn't contact the local police.
Some tip lines hotline, the Center for Exploited Missing Children, despite having this person's actual information allegedly.
Despite that, you're opposed to call the missing child hotline when dealing with predators on the internet. Hey, in your words, it's just a hotline, right? Even though we did tell Moomin off about those chat rooms, and I have receipts about that. But it was completely fine for you, Faye Daddy, to run defense for Hopeless Peaches in the FCK leaks and how she totally didn't know that there was a minor in a server. Despite that, Akumu has hard evidence, audio proof that Hopeless Peaches did know a minor named Slamurs was in the FCK server. A server that you had the logs to 4 months in advance before Akuma made his video exposing the FCK. And what was your response to Akuma making his video before you got the news out? It was to make a small Rush segment in your Conundrum video, saying that he's just gonna twist the narrative. What do I expect from the guy who made a video about Kai Wise, and states in said video that he can dox anybody and face no legal repercussions, and his defense is to bring up a law that states the otherwise?
Code, section 42.074. Unlawful disclosure of resident address or telephone number. A person commits an offense if the person posts on a publicly accessible website the resident address or telephone number of an individual with the intent to cause harm or a threat of harm to the individual or a member of the individual's family or household. I could, quite legally, list the real information of every predator I've reported, and the law couldn't touch me.
The law you just listed stated the otherwise of what you said. Are you fucking illiterate?
Don't answer that. A rhetorical question.
What do I expect from a guy that claims to study the law and knows it like the back of his hand, but when he gets called out by an actual lawyer on a live stream for all the shit he's done, he has a petty argument with them?
You have said multiple times that you would report several people to the police, even though you know it wouldn't go anywhere. Is that, you know that that's like wasting police time and resources for a report that you know is not.
The police have always told me it's better to have. The police have always told me it's better to have something on file than nothing. And yes, I've also noticed
in your
I noticed that you.
In your jobs of child predation hunting, you've never encountered the National Center for Missing or Exploited Kids, ever?
I have asked law enforcement if it's better to contact them or contact that facility, and they said it's always better to contact them.
You were not aware of that facility at all prior to this conversation, though.
I was not aware of their classes.
But again, they openly have forms for reporting. Have you utilized those forms? Because as you know, if it's not harassment, and unless I don't want to know your state, so please don't share your state. Unless it's all within your state, there is very little local PD can. Wait, I'm not talking about your state or doxing it. I disavow that if that is happening. I don't care to know those things, to be very clear. But whenever you're talking about this in particular, especially with crossing crossing state lines, it must always be reported federally. That is why usually the federal crimes and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Kids work so closely together, because that is the only way with which to catch these child predator rings.
Anytime I've called the police and I've asked them about whether or not it is better to report to them or to the Center for Missing and Exploited Children, they always say it's better to report to them.
Yes,
if it is
because the Center for Missing and Exploited Children works specifically with the FBI, which does every interstate problem. You know this. I know that you know this. So when it comes to these specific crimes, though, but they don't, though.
Oh,
they
so
don't do that.
Just sit there and do nothing with it.
Yes, they are under no obligation. They are under no obligation to escalate or do anything like that.
They're not under obligation to do
taking
anything per the Supreme Court rule in 2005.
I understand that, and this is a different standard from the life-saving standard of that case in 2005 that you're talking about. I know which one you're speaking of, but in terms of escalating this with a police report, they're obligated to take your report, absolutely. It can go into the round receptacle in the trash can after that.
She's right.
They are not obligated to do anything, which is why I'm asking, since you work so hard and since you say that you work so hard doing these, excuse me?
Why aren't they obligated to do it?
Because it's beyond their jurisdiction and they are only paid by the people within their jurisdiction. There's no obligation for them to try to escalate those things online. No,
they have no obligation to report it to their superiors, which is the federal government. You're kidding me.
No, they don't. And federal government isn't their superiors, especially if it's a state police. What are you talking about?
Yeah, sorry for wasting your time, but you get it. Leo Convoy got schooled by an actual lawyer. So much for studying the law, right? Faggot! But what did I expect from you? What do I expect from the guy that thought it was a good idea to suggest an at-the-time minor record herself get sexually assaulted by her stepfather? Said minor being Jordan, also known as Mintheart, the one that you bragged about adopting.
I actually tried to help actual victims of child predation, hence the kid down the hallway.
What is wrong with you?
And still, doesn't think it's stupid because, guys, you were doing it for surveillance. So, suggesting a at-the-time minor putting herself in potential danger is a good idea. For the love of God, stop telling yourself that this was not a bad idea. Even the lawyer in that stream call calls you out for this shit.
So we told Jordan, and we were spitballing these things, so it wasn't something that went into action, but a spitballing idea was for Jordan to keep a phone or something on recording in case somebody came in, so they could at least forward something to the police if something did happen. Not the same
So then you're saying yes. Your answer is literally you are going around.
No, that is
you're going around. You're going around and finding an elaborate way to say yes.
No. How is surveillance the same thing as requiring somebody to record an essay?
How is surveillance the same thing as requiring somebody to record an essay?
What do I expect from a guy that uses guilt by association so much that he called Kumo a Fox Mafia member just because he was asking questions, and even admitted in his stream he was never friendly to them?
Nah, because Lyle likes to say, oh, Zoophile apologist because you were buddies with Cass Moorfox in the Fox Mafia, when I was literally bullying them relentlessly. You know, I might have had moments of humility where I was, like, trying to get information out of them, but, like, the majority of the time, Vash Lancet, I'm a dad and I work. I do this on my own time, so I didn't get the full story. No, Vash, I'm asking you. Oh, wait. Fox Mafia cum dump confirmed. Oh, thank you for the 5, North. Vash can literally, like, attest to what I'm saying right here. That while I was in the Fox Mafia, I was an asshole. And fucking Gilded Pooh has, there's screenshots between me and Gilded Pooh laughing at the Fox Mafia. I was, like, showing him what they were saying in chats. I was, like, arguing with them, like, constantly. Are you fucking kidding me? And I think they deleted that server, so I couldn't even... I don't even think I could go in there and get it.
Cocksucking idiots.
What do I expect from the guy who wants to lecture people and grandstand about sexual harassment when people make fun of his little found family? When in a call with a victim of that beta guy that goes by the name of Jibs, you said the most vile stuff to her.
Correct. You lied to my face. Tell me, what's the one rule I have with everybody?
Do not lie to you.
There you do it. Trampling over literally everybody's work. So while Sarah was working on that video to expose Vita further, you were talking to him and getting all sorts of validation. How many times did you guys ERP after that? I'm curious. Tell me. How many more voice messages did he send you talking about how he wants to lick your body? Tell me. I want to know. You're over 18 now. It shouldn't be a problem. Come on.
Okay,
You're a fucking idiot.
All because she had a Stockholm Syndrome moment with the person that groomed her. And after this call, you apparently did apologize to her, but because Hopeless Peaches told you to. And said apology, you didn't apologize to her for what you said in the call. You apologized to Jibs because Hopeless Peaches used that call as a gotcha against you, not because of what you've done in the call. Holy shit! You want to preach about being a holy, righteous man that follows God, but when it's clear that you lie, do this manipulative shit, and do this disgusting stuff behind the scenes, I'm pretty sure you're a fucking heretic. Leo, I don't think you got any right to whine about me saying you fuck Hopeless Peaches when you did all this stuff to Jibs, and Rosa, and Jax, and God knows who else who got under your skin that day. And you call people pedo defenders or zoophile defenders with the most vaguest shit and guilt by association. Akumu calls you out about that too. And when I was talking to Jar, he also confirms that you just assume shit about me. You see, I was there, therefore I should have heard Fursky Doodle and Vicious talking about animal parts all the time. Yeah, real nice to assume that when you were okay with what Baji has been doing for literal years. Yeah, I don't think I should be sorry to a person that preaches about God when he was perfectly okay with horse porn and doxing children and making the most dumbest excuses for doing it. Hey Leo, Before I end this segment about you, here's some advice. The same advice I gave to you in my Antunes video. Play with your toys, Convoy.
Get fucked.
If you're worried about me yelling, I'm in the middle of McDonald's and Walmart.
Mega faggot!
Hello, but I'm not sorry.
Now with the wannabe daddy out of the way, let's move on to an Irish drunkard. Nigel the Freebird, aka that retro buff or just Freebird, is full of shit and he knows it. Just because I admitted to some things in my Why I Left doc are true, like drawing cringe NSFW for shekels, Levy, doesn't mean you're in the clear here either, Bird Brain, and people notice why you're doing this in Grimm's video leaking our call where I wanted you out of my life.
Shit, nice over.
Always gotta find a way to get back to my life, don't you, faggot?
I'm being civil here, no need to be emotional.
Link to that video below, by the way. For people who don't know, Nigel the Freebird used to be one of my friends. I met him back in 2021. We had our fun times, and we did also have our problems like all friends do. And yes, we did meet up and went to the first free-for-all. The infamous Fur Fat convention that was honestly incredibly mid. And reassured my stigmas about Fur Fat conventions in general. This free-for-all meetup was Retro's idea, and I didn't really want to go at first, but he convinced me and did research into it. I went there for the memes. He went there because he was obsessed with the USA. In a nutshell, Retro is a Westaboo. You can even see on his Twitter that he will not shut up about Vietnam and stuff like that, among other things I will be mentioning later. To recap, I had fun with my friends, not the convention. The con was incredibly boring and it's worth a video of its own. I don't know if I really want to make a video about this because there's already been enough coverage about Free-for-All and that fustercluck that happened right after it. But that's besides the point, back to Freebird. Retro's video might have truths in it, but if you watched the full thing, you would have noticed that there are some big, fat lies in it. Gotta love how he brings up me wanting to make a video about Bob Show like I was making that video with malicious intent.
He would go after other content creators. Now, granted that everybody is not free from criticism, but going on an unconstructive rant with movie reviewers and the Fallout community, it just comes off as just being bitching and moaning, to be honest with you. One unfinished video that he was going to make was actually going to be against Bob Show, who was actually a content creator who helped Silverfox1232 very early on in his career. Talking about biting the hand that feeds.
Fuck off!
If you watch some of my videos, you would know that the YouTuber is mid-series is about stomping on bigger channels. It's meant to be critical about them. My biggest example being my Dumbsville video, where after me and him made up on Twitter of all things, we settled things out. So, nice job leaving that out, Freebird.
Holy shit!
Don't be spitting that biting the hand that feeds crap when you know exactly why I wanted to make that video about Bob Show. It's because I like Bob Show. I wanted to make a video talking about his channel and my thoughts about him over the years, and how his content is aged. I never hated him. The dude gave me my first 100 subs when I was a teenager and copycatting the Nostalgia Critic with shitty recording equipment. I'm okay with those videos being up on his channel because it's shown how much I've grown as a YouTuber over the years. From a person who made shitty Nostalgia Critic copycat videos, to a very annoying and edgy shitposting furfag. I also love how you used me wanting to get 100k subs to make me look bad, when in reality I was going to do something really special when that happened. A shitpost to end all shitpost, and where I was going to end my channel career on.
I'm speaking about this as being a content creator, and when you are making content on the internet, just remember that the whole world is watching you. And what was your end goal in the end, Silver? You wanted to get yourself a shit ton of subscribers just so you can go get a silver plaque button? I mean, talk about setting the bar very low, and well, you're definitely not going to get it now because you've deleted your channel and every social media account that was in your name.
Don't call it a comeback! Fuck you.
If I ever got that play button, I was going to drive out into the middle of the desert and scream the N-word at the top of my lungs and go how to basic on that piece of aluminum. With a 12 gauge shotgun, but hey, you gotta get those pity points, right, Retro?
Talking about biting the hand that leads.
I also said nothing about sending Fox Mafia after you in that call.
In fact, funny enough, he was so full of animosity towards me that at one point he actually was threatening the Fox Mafia on me. That is if I ever stepped out of line on the internet in his and their eyes.
You got a proof for that, buddy?
Again, to anybody who actually wants to see that call, I'm going to link it in the description below with a timestamp. You can even skip to the end and I don't even say it. And I bet you Retro is going to say something about how, after Silver stopped recording, he said he would send Fox Mafia after me. That's a lie and you know it, Nigel. I left the BZ channel right after that call was over with. You have no proof of me saying that at all, and if you did, you would have shown it in your little video. Hey, as you say, Retro,
everybody is not free from criticism.
And neither are you, you obsessive freak.
He is not free from criticism, neither am I. Learn to practice what you preach.
And don't worry, I'm not going to drop your name. That would be a dick move. You didn't do that to me, so why should I do it to you?
I'm not going to go out of my way to publicly damn this person, relating to his personal life.
But let's talk about the real reason why Nigel is even making his spat about me in the first place, other than trying to be a vulture to my corpse and look like a victim. At the end bits in 2022, around November to December, Nigel was saying that he was going to off himself. At first, me and Roy, another close friend of mine that knew Nigel too, thought this was serious until he kept saying this kind of crap over and over, saying he wasn't going to go through with it until the 23rd of December. He would not shut up about it. If you know anything about people saying they're going to KYS, the more they say they're going to do it, the less likely they are going to do it. It was blatant emotional manipulation, and we both had enough of it. This led to us banning him from our main server and the Fallout Comic Project server. Nigel would even spread that suey bait bull in the comic server too, when me and another guy were talking about faction ideas and a big MT arc introducing a faction. That was the reason I banned him from the server, and when I banned him, he got pissed off, going right to my DMs and calling me a coward when I didn't want to deal with his bullshit. And not even the next day, trying to play puppy dog eyes to try and get pity from me. After we banned him from both our servers, he would not leave me alone, messaging me about writing a will and trying his best to get pity points over and over. Now, you can criticize me for not blocking him then and there, but I knew he was just going to do this kind of crap. Nigel loves to do these theatrics. The dude even posted a rope at me, a comically large rope that looks like it's meant to anchor a cruise ship. That made me a little cautious at first, but right after, he says this kind of shit. Nice job being passive-aggressive, you drunken sailor. Make way for the SS retard. By the way, Nigel is also a chronic alcoholic, and cannot get off his addiction no matter how hard he tries. And yes, he's tried, and failed, multiple times. Bruh, I had friends of mine get me off my degen porn addictions and into more saner things, despite the Barbra Streisand effect. Like, most of this stuff is from literal years ago. Hey, peer pressure works, people. And before Nigel's death date came near, he tried calling me. Over 200 plus times.
You're a sociopath.
Now that is some dedication. Pathetic, but dedication. So pathetic to the point where you bought a video game just to try and contact me. This will become relevant later. And after, it went silent. We didn't know if Nigel was dead or not, and we had our suspicions and doubts. And not even a month later, we saw that he was active on Steam in January, so yeah, it was all for pity. And then February kicked in, where he got back on Twitter of all things and started stalking me. He also sent me this email that was totally not suspicious at all, along with contacting a friend of mine on Discord to try and get in contact with me and Roy again. You also know what Nigel thought was a good idea? Going to Foxton, a person who I considered as a friend at the time, to commission a vent piece to try and get back at my heartstrings, along with showing her that he was sent to jail for hitting his father in the back of the head. This was also another factor of us not wanting to talk to him anymore. He even straight up told us what he did to his father before the suey bait happened.
Really makes you think.
And he blames us for his problems and wanted us to help him, despite we couldn't do anything or wanted to help him. I mean, come on. You hit your dad in the back of the head. What are we gonna do? What do we want to do? You dug your own grave here. You don't harm your parents, no matter what. And Nigel wants to call us the cowards. I mean, what did you expect was going to happen after you hit your father in the back of the head? Did you expect your idol, General Augustus Pinochet, to come down from the heavens in a magical helicopter made of gold and
kiss me on my hot mouth? I'm feeling romantic.
I hope this shows you a pattern of what Retro, other known as Nigel the Freebird's behavior is. Nothing but LARP and acting like what he does has no consequences to it and isn't his fault. Also, by the way, I know my past degenerate interests have been revealed in a Barbra Streisand effect after I DFD'd, and I've gotten criticized for making Goyslop tier SFW for shekels. I'll just straight up admit it, before his edgy stuff, I had Pyrocynical tier taste, and said edgy people got me out of it for my own mental sanity. I left a lot of Furfact servers behind because I didn't want this stuff to rot my brain even more. And sure, you can criticize me for still drawing F-sub-W, the thing I wanted to do was just draw more saner tier stuff. I'm not going to do it anymore, and to anyone who saw my disgusting Pyrocynical tier taste, all I can do is apologize for burning your corneas. But I got something special for you, Retro. From one degenerate to another, I don't think you should be branding yourself as the
Beast, anti-sexual libertarian, fighting for Pinochet hopianism.
When you're just as guilty of being a freak too. Nice foot fetish, by the way, and trying to say it's not sexual because there's no private parts exposed. Yeah, Retro, I'm pretty sure you don't know what a fetish is. Exposed parts or not, it's still sexual. Along with having your banner be made by Krug's Bunny, formerly known as Zoopwolf, a bisexual man with a male lean that has drawn SFW as well. And your icon on Twitter was drawn by a person who drew Sly Cooper Futanari. Need I say more? Wow, I was the only person he tolerated, guys. Yeah. Maybe it was also because I designed your schizo hallucination of a snake GF. Thanks for the 60 sheks, by the way.
I like money.
As for you, Nigel, you will never be a real libertarian. Come on. Last time I checked, you're in a halfway house wasting government money. Here's some advice. Get a job, quit the LARP, stop drinking scotch, and stop stalking me and my friends, you creep. I and many others are done with you. I don't wish harm on you, and I hope you do change. Just stay away from me and keep my name and my friend's name out of your mouth. Alright, enough of that freak bird. Let's move on to what I really need to talk about. So with all that said and done, I do have some faults to admit to. During this stuff between the Fox Mafia drama, I was cowardly and neglectful to the people that actually mattered and previously viewed me as a friend. I'm not name-dropping anyone here for their own sanity, and I was stupid for judging people off 3-year-old gay drama that was resolved a long time ago. It was retarded of me. I didn't make really any good connections, and when anyone wanted to talk to me or just hang out, I barely would talk to them back, only listening when someone was schizoing out that day. I was neglectful of people that actually care about me and let my fear of fake claims being taken seriously from randos get the better of me, and I got slapped hard in the face for it. It was deserved. I was being cowardly and ran away from the problem instead of facing it. I know people aren't going to forgive me for being a jerk to them and leaving people in the dark about me disappearing. They have all the right to be pissed, and I know some of you have seen the tribute video. It wasn't made because Sneed believes the trash that Leo shot out, it was because I was being a jerk and a cowardly asshole. I already know there's going to be people in the comment section calling me a creep with no proof just to try and get under my skin, with no other proof than a piece of paper with my cringe avatar on it. Again, welcome to the internet. People are going to say and do mean shit. We live in an era where Speds will make fake screenshots to frame people as pedos and barely even elaborate to show what they're posting is even the truth or not. Other than just saying, dude, trust me bro, the bong said so. I can even do that right now with a fake tweet maker, it's not that hard. Do I need to mention again that commentary channels will also try to do this to make views, twisting the context of things to make normal questions look like a dude is asking for nudes? Daft Pina! Or people lying about ages to make a dude look like a predator? As if me asking for proof about claims said about dudes in Fox Mafia is defending Zoo Files or being skeptical until I got hard proof from Lumi out of all people is defending Zoo Files. Please hop off. I find it funny that even Doodletones calls you out about that shit, Leo.
Also contrary to the popular belief, I also never once said that Lio doesn't have shit to address. I agreed with some of the criticisms in Brooke the Dragon Dog's video, and I had even agreed to some of the criticisms from the Fox Mafia prior.
There's a reason why I put a label gun right next to your profile picture in the thumbnail. I swear, if Senate fags take that thing I said earlier about what I said with Cedric's FA and the safe word filter stuff as defending him or doubling down when I'm just explaining his testimony he gave to me, and even saying, why did he run away when confronted despite saying to me otherwise? I'm gonna go going ghost. I'm gonna go running with scissors. By the way, to any Senate fags listening to this video, that was not a serious threat, that was an edgy joke. You all take things way too seriously, like Kumo's Ice Cube butt. I swear if like Leo Convoy watched Sam Hyde, he would probably commit seppuku.
Right! Dead! Bitch!
Alright, I'm gonna end this video now. I know I gotta repeat myself here. I'll admit it. I was being a hypocritical jerk that got a slapping in the face for being neglectful to the people that actually cared about me, and I was a coward for DFing over stupid claims I could have brushed off and defended myself over. A piece of paper with my dumbass crack dealer of an avatar isn't hard proof that I like dogs. Cause I could do the same to Leo and call him a horsefucker. It's all Mama Max here LARP made by a sad man-child with a grudge. You gonna believe a guy that plays with toys is almost nearly 40 and just screams like a retard at retards in his little Hugbox Discord server, along with doxing people to get under his skin because they made an empty threat at him. And when anyone asks him for a one-on-one debate, he pulls the most gay excuses like,
Don't really want to hang around creeps.
Despite that you are literally friends with Doodle Tones. Diaper-loving, self-admitted to role-playing as an 8-year-old for sexual pleasure Doodle Tones.
I was a stupid 18-year-old by this point.
Artist feeding time, but more like artist sneeding time. Alright, enough of this incredible gassy wannabe, let's move on. This drama was incredibly gay, and I was a coward for DFEing over it and leaving you all in the dark for so long. I know that Nigel is going to spurg about me and leading to me making another video calling him out, and Leo is definitely going to rave about my comeback. Hey, maybe if I'm lucky, you'll come in my comment section and give me a certified Leo Convoy anime speech. And then he's going to call me a zoo defender or enabler again, when he's got no proof other than that gunky old piece of paper. All this because I dare make fun of your little relationship with a giant peach. All my sources will be in the description of this video, along with the screenies I've used in the Google Drive. To my fanatics, I am sorry that I pussied out over fake claims, and I do not plan on making any more drama-related videos unless it's necessary and I need to respond to fake shit. I'm still going to make those mid-series videos about Bob Show and Sam Fenna, cause those videos are just meant to be critical about things I like, not to spread hate. I do have some videos planned about other things too, like media that interest me, and maybe even a video talking about how that Fallout comic I was working on was just destined to be failure from the start. You can unsubscribe if you want to. I know I disappointed people by posting out and leave a mean comment as well, telling me to KYS or whatever. All I gotta say is I am not a zoo defender or enabler, and to anyone who says that shit, you can shove it up your fat ass. So, see ya. I hope 2024 can be better for this channel. Goodbye.
Oh, by the way, I actually follow Andrew Ryan's philosophy, so I'm not a parasite.